We are now live. I call the meeting of the Sanborn Regional School Board to order. It is 6:02 p.m. If I could have everyone stand for the pledge. Flag is right behind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right, do I have any action on the minutes? We have a lot, so I don't know if someone wants to try and put them together or if they would like to move them separately.
I'll make a motion to approve them all together.
Second. Okay. Right, any discussion? No, all right, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, manifest documents are going around. There is a lot of them that have been piling up. They've all been in our emails. It'd be fairly easy to go through. All right, nominations and resignations.
Always comes up fast, and I think it's going to come up. Technically, we've hired these folks through the authorization you guys gave me a couple of months ago. It seems like a million years ago. But I wanted to give people an update on the staff that we have hired over the summer. And I believe this is a complete list. We're literally onboarding people today. As I was getting this list, there was somebody down the hall going through the process. So we've been doing a lot of work. The principals have done a tremendous amount of work on that. So Michelle Bork was added as a school nurse at Memorial School. John Flanagan will teach social studies at the high school. Megan Sherburne is a music teacher at Bakey. Kira Reel will be a fourth grade teacher at Memorial School, Sanborn graduate. Joanne Franco, special ed assistant director at the elementary level. Sue Basuski, an assistant principal at the elementary. She'll be at Bakey. Mackenzie McEachern, a third grade teacher at Memorial. Sean Walker and Scott Maxwell will be assistant principals here at the high school. A Sanborn graduate. And I think there's one more I may have missed in that list who are grads. Samantha McCann, counseling here at the high school. Melissa Berry is a social worker. She'll be at the high school. And we've also had several members of the admin team come on board in the last couple of weeks. Marie Mundy is sitting right here. She's come on as our business administrator and definitely jumped right in. Andrea Lancy is the principal at the elementary school at Bakey, and Nicole Cartier, the principal at the high school, middle school. So that's just sort of since that authorization started. Those were a lot of them done in public meetings, but some of them were really short little public meetings. So I wanted to get that out there. So we welcome all those guys to the district.
Okay. So since we already authorized Bob to do all the hiring over the summer, I don't know to approve them or nominate them. Should we do it just to be safe?
Knock yourself out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I make a motion to nominate all. I tried to write all their names down. I could not keep up. But all of the people that Dr. Dawson had listed, and welcome to the district. We're so happy.
Second?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Unanimous.
I didn't vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll abstain.
Okay. All right. So it was Ken, Heather, Jeremiah, Micah, Maura, and myself in favor, and Rick abstention. Thank you. Sorry about that, Rick.
No worries.
All right. Do we have any resignation?
The only one that we were going through today is Nicole O'Brien, who left us as a high school associate principal to become the principal at Milford High School. She's doing very well. Saw her the other day at a meeting that I was at. So,
Okay. Thank you. All right. Superintendent's report.
okay, the magic sticky note for me to remember. This week we've been doing professional development with our teaching staff. They're completing a bunch of online training. We had a wonderful speaker, Ty Gagney from Primex this morning, told a real inspiring story about survival in the White Mountains and the impact that people can have on other people's lives. In that particular case, a emergency situation, but just a stranger that was sort of pulled out by a member of the White Mountain Rescue Organization and the impact that had. And went over very, very well with the staff. We do have many new staff. We just read that list that are coming on board and bringing those folks along. I want to give a particular shout out to Renee LeBlanc in the superintendent's office, who has been doing all this onboarding with the staff over the last couple of weeks. And it just seems like there's people walking by my office all day long going down to see Renee. She's amazing and does a great job. Like I said, we're really happy to have Maria on board as well. Athletics at the high school level began this week. We have all of our teams well underway with practices. I stopped by football practice yesterday, and I've seen other teams going in and out. The cheerleaders are running around the building today. So that's been going on, and scrimmages start as early as I believe football has a scrimmage on Saturday. And some other teams, I may remember in my deep dark past scheduling those scrimmages as early as tomorrow as well for some of the teams. Our kids come back next week. So on Tuesday, we have the kids in grades, not preschool, I don't believe, but K through 6. And our 9th graders will start on Tuesday, and all the other kids will start. Everybody will be back on Wednesday. And just to give people a preview, we were over the summer, the administrative team went up and we had a retreat. We had a time with John Wortman to talk about some of our vision and our goals and communication styles, because we have a lot of new members of the admin team. We met and had a great Q&A session with our attorneys, and most of us stayed for 2 days of updates on a whole bunch of things, reminders from the lawyers at Drummond Woodsum as a big conference, about 200 school administrators there. And the last thing they handed us was something, I think on the order of, I think we're now up to 51 or 52 changes to state law for education. So we're going to have to spend quite a bit of time digesting that document. And some of them are relatively mundane and some of them are rather titanic. So that's going to take up a bunch of our time at the district office. Also, undoubtedly some time here with this group as well. So that's coming along. Wanted to mention the next 2 days, we have the attorneys coming in tomorrow to go over and answer questions for staff and do a presentation on restraints, seclusion, and mandated reporting. And they're also going to talk about the Parental Bill of Rights, which I think is going to come up tonight as well, and answer a bunch of questions. And then on Friday, we have the Pledge of Allegiance with our little 3rd graders now, I think. Fourth graders. Thank you. Kind of been here longer than I think. And we're going to recognize our staff that's been here. Send everybody back to their schools so they can set up their classrooms. So 9:30 is, somebody tell me I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's pulling that out of my head, but I'm pretty sure the event in the breakfast at 8:30, 9:30 will be the presentation with the kids. Lots going on.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
All right, do I have any subcommittee reports tonight? All right, our student council representative excused tonight. She was unable to be here. She had a conflict. So we will move to first public comment. Just a reminder to everyone that you need to state your name, the town you're from. Everyone has 3 minutes, and Rick, I think you'd like to.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to waive the time limit of policy BEDH until a time when a new policy is in place. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. All right.
Hi, Pam Brown, Kingston. First, congratulations on the improved English and math scores for Memorial. That's great news. I just wanted to comment on LineWise software that's on the agenda tonight. I understand they'll be monitoring use of the web during school time, and I'm also concerned about the filtering they'll be using to monitor that usage. I'm sure it's a good plan and we do need the software, but I was just concerned about their ethical review process. I went to the website and I noticed that their brochure states that they have an ethical review when stakeholder rights may be in conflict or when the request of one stakeholder may result in risk for another stakeholder. So I guess my general concern is about potential censorship. We have a 3-year contract, but are we actually having a trial period where we can see if we like the program or not? I just want to know that. And I did email them a few days ago asking what this review process entailed, and I gave an example. So if it would say illegal immigration, I know we're into SEL nowadays. We don't want to hurt feelings of other students. So would they look at certain topics as potentially hurtful and therefore worthy of filtering? That would just be my only concern. And hopefully that is not happening. There's a lot of controversy in the news. So that would be my only concern. Other than that, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
All right. There isn't one else right now. We'll move on to new business. Check signer approved.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, you just go.
Just go.
It just works.
To go.
Don't get called on, just go.
All right. So with the huge turnover we've had in administration this year, we have a bunch of new people that need to be set up on the student activity checking account.
Yep.
All of the other accounts. And I think you all have that in your agenda.
We do.
Motion to approve check signers for the district.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay, there's a few policies on here for first, second read. I will turn this over to more discuss. You guys talked about during your meeting.
You or me, I don't care.
You can go.
Okay, I will rip through these relatively quickly to give you a gist of what they are. AB is a policy that mirrors to a large extent, if not entirely, the new Parental Bill of Rights that was passed by the New Hampshire legislature, one of those 50 law changes this summer. And just lays out the specific areas of that Parental Bill of Rights. The NHSBA policy was copied completely into here, as I think is wise, as we go through trying to digest exactly what is in that policy. Part of the training tomorrow that we're receiving from the attorneys will be for our staff in regards to the aspects of that particular law, some of which are going to be more significant than others. Some of them are sort of common sense things, and some of them are things that are in law in other areas that we're required to do. So that particular one is fairly straightforward and is laid out in state law.
Just, excuse me, Bob. This is a new policy, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I just
Yep.
want to make sure. everybody's
Yep.
As we go through these, can we denote whether we're doing a first read, second read, so we know what the expectation is on
Yeah,
those?
absolutely.
Yeah.
They are all for the first and second read per the agenda.
They're all for first and second read?
Yes.
But we understand
don't
that
have
we
to
may
make-
not do a second read.
You may not.
Some
give
of them
motion
we
for it.
recognize might be a little bit more
Yeah, okay.
that we just kind of wanted to have it in there because that's how it was set up.
Yeah, we moved them, but we were under the understanding that we may put a pin in things or have other board members may have follow-up questions that were different than the ones that we had in our policy meeting.
So do we want to take one at a time?
Yeah,
think
if I
that's-
can just
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
and so the AB grievance procedure and the GBA, and JICJ, the urgency with that is, well, one of them is obviously is a new one, the first one, but the electronic devices, some of these they're waiting for at the high school to implement. So that's why we were hoping in particular that these ones we could move forward. Just because of the urgency of them. So, but I agree, we should go through them one by one.
Can we quickly clarify for everybody what first and second read means? In case they don't know.
So first read, typically what happens, and in this situation, they're asking for first and second read. Typically what happens is policies go through the policy subcommittee. and then they come to the board for a first read so that there can be discussion. And then if there's anything that needs to be changed or modified, it can go back to the policy subcommittee, have more work done on it, and then it can come back to the board for a second read. And hopefully then at that point, be adopted. This, and like Maura already had alluded to, sometimes there is a situation where you need to do a first and second read, try to adopt, given either law changes, requirements, things like that. So sometimes you need to push things faster. We've done it in the past for specific policies, especially when you're trying to match laws. Typically we would try to do it as, it would just come for a first read. There's a little bit of a urgency on a couple of these if the board feels comfortable to move forward first and second read, and that requires a majority.
And if there were two of those, do we want to focus on those two that have urgency to them and then move to the next ones?
Yeah, I think that they kind of go, the first couple ones are easier. And those are the more
And the second,
urgent ones. So I think those ones will move quicker through.
GBA is a repeal,
Yep.
Jeremiah, because we had already
Yep.
did that. We had updated that policy in September. So I think GBA will be a simpler one for us.
Okay. Well, let us know where we're going to start.
So
You want to start with AB? Just start with
Yeah.
the first.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So this is the one that's brand new. This is the new law that was just signed into law in the state of New Hampshire. I don't think that we really had any questions about it. Just kind of came straight from the law, although I will say somebody came up to me after the policy meeting and just now questioning the title of it, where the New Hampshire state law calls it New Hampshire Parental Bill of Rights. We have it listed as policy AB, grievance procedure for discrimination complaint. I don't know.
Okay.
I apologize. I haven't really had time to look at that.
I can tell you too.
I think the parental bill of rights is a little more, I think it's describes it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's my
Ra-
mistake.
range.
I didn't know if there was a reason it
Yeah.
was changed.
Yep, that's a mistake.
What's that?
That's my mistake.
Okay. All right. So I
I
get,
think I copied that policy and then forgot to change the header.
So it would be the parental bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will match the
He's changing it right now.
New Hampshire Parental Bill of Rights is what it will say.
so I guess then can I do the motion? Can I make a motion at this point? I'd like him to make a motion to for first and second read of policy AB being retitled as New Hampshire Parental Bill of Rights.
Second.
All right. Any discussion?
Can I ask one thing? And it'll apply to all of these.
Please do.
Related policies at the bottom,
Mhm.
way down the bottom, always is a laundry list. And sometimes there's 3, sometimes I think there's like 17 here.
Yeah.
That's a grind to go through and double check and make sure that we have them, but also that they actually apply. So I don't know if you're okay with giving me the discretion to kind of clean that up so that they apply. I don't think it really changes the necessarily wording of the policy. It just makes the policy match what we actually have because we may not have some of the policies here.
Well, what I was looking at, there's no related policies that are on the agenda tonight, right? So I think we're okay there. Yeah, I didn't see JICJ on there.
No, I think you're
I
correct.
think we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm also on some of these, and I'll do it here too. I'm adding keywords to the policies. I want to start creating a list to make our policy manual easier to search. So I want to create a keyword list. I'm going to start working on working those in, and I'll add those here as well.
That would be good.
Fantastic.
And that would all be above, or excuse me, below the actual policy language itself.
So we had no, just for the other members of the board, we had no questions or changes needed because it came straight from the law itself.
Yeah.
So we were comfortable with the policy as is.
Okay. All right. So the motion and second are for first and second read, of AB. No further discussion. All in favor? All right.
I think Jeremiah's still
Yeah.
reading.
Hold on, that's fine.
I have-
Micah, you have
I
more
have a
discussion?
question.
Yeah.
What are we agreeing to right now?
Well, I guess is it
Adopting. this
adopting it?
To adopt it? That's the motion?
Sorry.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say that although we're adopting a new policy, the policy committee meets on a regular basis. and,
Absolutely.
Revisions can be made to policies at any time.
Absolutely.
So, although we're adopting a new policy, some of you here tonight and at home may not have had the opportunity to read this. So we welcome feedback input. And although it's adopted, revisions can be made.
That's a nice
With
thing.
that confined with the law.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
to the
Yeah, we
extent-
have to follow the law. So somebody could send a recommendation of something that they'd like to see changed. We can reach out to NHSBA and find out if that would comply or not, and then have a discussion at the policy subcommittee. And then if it moves forward, it could come to the board. So absolutely.
Don, I have one
Absolutely.
point for discussion, if I could.
Absolutely.
So this is there's a lot of meat to this policy. And so my question for you, Bob, is being that it's a new policy and has a lot of meat to it, how are you ensuring that the teaching staff is not only aware of this, but prepared to be compliant with it?
Yep. So part of our training with the folks from Drummond Woodson tomorrow is going to be on this in particular. That was something we reached out to them to do. We're still trying to digest it ourselves. With quite a bit of time in the summer spent on it. One group that has a particular concern about some of the pieces in here is our counseling staff. So our plan is to have them meet as a small group and have a working session with the attorneys on exactly how this is going to impact their work.
And it's probably fair to say that a lot of what's in this new policy are bits and pieces of existing.
Oh, yeah.
Of existing ways to move throughout the system that are now just in this parental bill of rights. Right. So although it's a new policy, a lot of it exists in the schools today.
Yeah. And some of it is, you read it like that, you have a right to your kid's report card. You're kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like, why would I deny anybody that,
Yeah, this references 19 different policies that we already have in place. So it's a lot of things. It's just kind of wrapping it up into a nice little.
So another comment, and we didn't specifically ask about this one, Jeremiah, but it's a good point. We did bring up, there's a lot in these policies that procedurally are not in there. So we have some questions of like, how procedurally are you going to implement the electronic devices or the use of restraints? Like that gets, more down. So we did ask if we could have a report at the next meeting to discuss the implementation of these policies if we move them forward, because there is so much in here. We want to make sure that we actually know what this means and it's not just a bunch of jargon.
Sure.
So I don't think we asked Dr. Dawson specifically on this one, but I think that would be a good idea if we can get reported back at the next meeting on how the training went and, any changes or whatnot.
Feedback from the staff.
Got it.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Thank you. Okay.
All right. So if there's no further discussion, all in favor? All right,
I'm gonna have something, but it's.
unanimous. Okay, so that was.
You look like you wanted to say something.
So GBA repeal is what is being asked to repeal this policy. It was replaced back September 4th, 2024 by AC. Should have been repealed back then, but somehow that got over.
I make a motion to repeal GBA.
Second.
That's it.
The dead heat.
Micah, light that.
Phyllis, that's on you to
I'll
figure
defer.
out who it was. All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay, JICJ.
This next one, JICJ, is the law that was just passed. I think we kind of had a lot of questions of how is this going to be implemented? I think that the staff in particular, the principal has a lot on her plate to be able to bring this all together in the next couple of days. And specifically, this was one that we want to see come back. If we do move it forward, we'd like to, at the next meeting, sort of get more information about how are we actually implementing this law. And then also encourage at least getting something out to the parents as soon as possible, if possible tomorrow, to let parents know of this law and that there is going to be differences. You're not going to be able to get in touch with your children as you can now. So there's a law on this one, I think, procedurally.
I also think it's an unfunded mandate, so we are gonna have to see how we're going to implement this. I know that they're no longer gonna be allowed to use the pouches that we had bought because they literally have to be like either in their backpack or locked away. You know, so there may be things that we as a district are gonna have to pay for to.
Right.
Well,
And we're asking for this for first and second read so that tomorrow the principal can start, or principal that's, I suppose, at the lower levels, can start with their plans, but they kind of need this to be done so they can do their part.
And communications to parents. They want to get that out
Yes.
before school starts. as
Yes,
well.
as soon as possible.
Surprise on day one.
So the strike throughs used to be,
yes.
Correct. What's that?
the strike through text is
Should
what
we make a motion?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We're sorry. We should definitely, somebody should make a motion.
Oh.
I make a motion to move forward this policy, JICJ.
second. Now we can continue talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you done?
Do other policies strictly reference the law
Yes.
that, like, I don't see, you know, like, for example, in this policy, it doesn't say at the beginning, in accordance with RSA, yada, yada, yada.
The
Typically,
legal references.
yeah, at the very bottom of each policy is where all the legal references are. There
for
are a couple
RSAs.
policies that the RSAs are dropped in.
Yep.
In the language, but typically it's always at the bottom.
Find that difficult. Just because for people reading this, if this is up publicly available,
Yeah.
it doesn't, it requires them to, mix and match and figure out on their own instead of embedding them within. I'd much rather have in the future, I mean, we got to move on this, right? But in the future, I'd love to
No.
have
We don't.
embedded citations of the RSA reference in the text inline so that parents can know, oh, I'm reading this part of the policy. It is this way because of this RSA right here. And then I can go. Otherwise, it's just like, yeah, there's these 5. Good luck figuring out which part corresponds to what.
That's
Some are embedded, because the last one, there was some embedded.
Got it.
Yeah, I just think as a form factor.
Yep.
Think about that
Well,
going
I
forward.
have to look it up for sure, but I believe it's RSA 189:A-A, subsection 5. Probably, I think, because this particular one was done through, I don't know if New Hampshire would refer to this term correctly, a rider on the state budget. HB2 is the state budget. And I think it was tacked onto the state budget, but it was allegedly, and I'm looking at the NHSBA notes, a revision to RSA 189, blah, blah. And I will add that to the policy if you would like.
Yeah, because that's not even listed as a legal reference.
I just have a couple things.
Go ahead.
I think I heard 2 questions before we even got here. First one was, we don't know how we're implementing it. We don't know how we're paying for implementation of this policy, but we're going to implement it today and then expect people to adhere to it next week when school starts, which probably won't happen. So I'm a big believer, why implement something if we already have a policy, if you can't support what you're implementing? So my questions, which are a couple, keeping, while it is a best practice that these devices are not brought to school, if these devices are brought to school, they should be kept with the power turned off and the student's assigned locker, backpack, or handbag. So the policy today is that the kids come into the classroom, they put their phones in the holders, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the problem with that is,
The way that the law is written, they cannot be seen or have The kids can't have any access to them.
Okay, and that's in here? That's in the
That's in,
policy?
that's in the law.
Is it referenced in the policy anywhere?
I did.
I haven't, I'm adding it right now.
My second question then is this portion here. Let me read it. Students participating in extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, field trips, or other activities outside of the school day shall abide by the rules and consequences established for personal communication devices set by the coach, instructor, sponsor, or other designated supervisor for the activity.
We did discuss that, and I think that the feeling we had on that was, yeah, it should be up to the coach's discretion. So if your kid is on the soccer team, if the coach can make that judgment call of, okay, the kids can have their cell phones because they need to get in touch with their parents on the way home or whatever. We felt, we did discuss that. And if you guys want to take it out, I don't feel super passionate about it one way or the other, but we did decide that we could leave it up to the coach's discretion.
Yeah. My thought is, who oversees that? Who decides if their policies are fair? How do you enforce policies that you're not, that aren't clearly stated? And how do kids understand what the policies are if there's different policies for different areas of the school and different activities?
My concern with that as well, Rick, is the inconsistency that there will be from team to team, coach to coach, different things, and it could create it could just create some serious issues, I think, amongst the kids, the coaches, because if there isn't consistency, it just leads to bigger problems. So
It's going to lead to not being able to, it's going to lead a lot of gray to forcing a policy.
yeah.
Well, I'm just interested in how many, when our teachers are going to find the time to confirm that all the phones are off in the kids' lockers.
Or in their book bag.
This is insane.
I think realistically, there's a lot here to be done. And yeah, truthfully, I don't think everything on day one is going to be, it's not going to be smooth, I'm sure, but this is what the law is. So in terms of, do we keep it what it was before, or do we change it to this? I think at least this way, we're now giving the administration the ability to make these rules and set how these procedures are going to be done, where right now they don't have any, they don't know where to go. They don't know what they should be following. I'm sure it's going to be a difficult transition, but they need this so they can plan their procedures.
It does. I'm in the NHSBA right now. It does say the board should adopt this policy as soon as possible to have it in place by the beginning of the school year and included in the handbook.
Yeah.
And then down here, there were revision notes, July 2025, replaced in its entirety and retitled to reflect passage of RSA 189 1A, V, CHB2, chaptered as 2025 New Hampshire laws 141, 455, which requires a bell-to-bell cell phone ban policy. So it requires this bell-to-bell.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that talking bell-to-bell, I don't necessarily know that it really requires for the after-school activities.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, that's how it is now anyways. Like some coaches are like, put your phone away, some, you know what I mean? Like it's already gray with a lot of these after school. So
Yeah.
I don't know if,
Then maybe we just remove that extracurricular activity thing.
just have because the law is from bell to bell.
Yeah, I'm just not comfortable. I mean, if we, if the board votes to put this through tonight and enact it, I would suggest that you delay any disciplinary action for a period of 60 days, 90 days until this board and the admin team comes forward with the plan on how they're going to administer it. I don't think it's fair to have discipline with the kids that don't really have a clear understanding of how we're doing things.
I think that's why we were hoping once that the new principal can send out an email with what the clear plan is going to be.
Yeah.
When was that going to be?
Tomorrow.
And she may not have the plan, but for her to at least give the heads up to the parents, like, this is the law.
Yeah.
This is coming. We don't know exactly what that looks like, but this is coming.
Yeah. And I don't Yeah, I'm trying to follow you, Rick. I'm not following though the challenge with the implementation. It's not the board's responsibility to implement the law. It's our responsibility to say, hey, here is the law, here is the policy that must be followed, right? And so just like in the last policy that we just approved, first and second read, there are some challenges with that policy too, which is why I said what I said. This is a lot of meat, right? But we didn't put a caveat to that. We didn't say, hey, we're adopting this, and teachers, if you don't like the request that you get from a parent utilizing the parental bill of rights, you can choose not to follow it for 60 or 90 days while you think about it, right? It's the law. You have to follow it, right? And so you might not agree with it. You got to follow it, right? And so I think it's the same thing for this. And I think if the expectation that gets sent out early, hopefully very soon, and then hopefully even reiterated before school starts, so maybe, double tap this, twice before school starts, it's a bell to bell cellular device ban. It's very simple. You know what I mean?
The problem though is that it doesn't give in one way, you're right. You're entirely right about the similarity to the previous policy we just looked at. However, the previous policy is entirely enforceable without practical problems. This one is so specific, it becomes unenforceable, practically unenforceable to ensure that the letter of this law is followed every day by every teacher in every classroom.
Oh, so is the one previous though.
Well, I mean,
You could
no,
make the same argument for the one before.
no, they should not violate the parental Bill of Rights, and there's no practical reason why they shouldn't. They're not gonna check whether or not phones are turned off and
I hear
every
you.
day before every class. They can't do it.
Right.
Right,
I
so-
hear you.
The specificity with which this
Yep.
is given is problematic to say, we need to follow this. Yes.
I agree. I think this is going to impact instruction time. I
Yeah.
think, I think the New Hampshire government thought that this was going to make the instruction time more focused. I think teachers are going to unfortunately spend way too much time making sure that Johnny and Susie have turned off their cell phones.
Unless we can build into our specific policy or implementation of this law.
Yeah.
An
Well-
understanding of following the spirit of it, even if the letter of it is entirely impractical.
Yeah, my caveat wasn't not to enforce it, right? Like I believe that, the cell phones and devices should be away, right?
Yeah.
Same
My
thing.
my caveat is the disciplinary actions
Yep.
towards the kids that are just learning this while we're still figuring this out.
Right.
Because I heard we don't have answers, and we
Right.
may have a plan or we may not have a plan.
Right. Yeah.
But the discipline part, that's
Sure.
my issue.
Gotcha. And I think, Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when I saw this come through, I was like, oh, this is not that far of a step for Sanborn because we've already implemented the pockets and
Yeah.
everyone is, and I recall speaking with previous administration, and they said when our cell phone policy first went into implementation, there was this thought that there was going to be this massive backlash. And really, it was very quickly adopted, and then the students actually embraced it pretty well. So now we're here and we're saying, okay, now it's going to be bell to bell. I mean, is this a step too far? Like, is this such a leap that it's like, oh my goodness, we're never going to get there?
Well, it's
Um,
bell to bell power off.
right.
That's the difference.
Right.
That is,
There are gonna be people that
Totally understood. And just like there were people that violated the previous policy, but
Sure.
it was not the norm, it was the exception, right? And so do we want, teachers running around, into people's lockers looking for power off on phone? No. The intent of the law here is that cellular devices will not interrupt academic time and have bullying and all these other things, right? So, I mean, does this seem to you like, holy crap, I don't know if we can ever get there?
I think that because active measures were taken in the last couple of years, but in particular last year, to restrict the use of them during class time, that this change is not going to be huge for the kids with one massive exception, which is lunch.
Got it.
And we have a breakfast period at the high school and so forth. Having the kids put them in their bags at the beginning of the day is a fairly simple thing. Nicole and I talked about this. Nicole Carty, or the middle school principal, talked about this. It was actually, I think, this morning. It feels like it was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And my sense is that it would be something where your first period teacher would just remind you, okay, guys, turn them off, put them in your bag. You can't have them during the day. This is dumb, right? The kids, right? But after a while, they're going to get used to it. the enforcement piece is going to be a problem. But what has been done for the most part at the high school is if your phone becomes an issue, it gets taken from the kid. It goes down to the office. We put it in a little bag. We put a Post-it note on the bag as to just a little to separate them one from another.
Yeah.
And they get stacked up behind in the main office. The kid hits the end of their day, whether that's after fourth period, fifth, or the end of the day. They go down, they pick their phone up. First one might be a talking to, the second one might be an after school detention.
Mhm.
You know, if it's the third one is 4 months later, it might be another talking to. It's like any other discipline issue
Sure.
that you run into. You have your repeat offenders. You're going to have kids that are really skilled at getting around it.
Mhm.
You're going to have kids that show up with, I got 2 phones. They're going to show up with 2 phones. They're going to do what they do. So the enforcement piece, but I don't think it's going to be a huge lift
Okay.
for us to enforce it at the school.
Got it.
My suspicion is that that's roughly what it's going to be. It's be, hey guys, first thing, remember to put these things away. We'll have conversations, or they will have conversations with the kids in the first week. And they'll say, listen, this is law. You can complain all you want.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
The law is law. We got to pass it. You can't do anything about it. The school board passed a policy because they didn't have a choice either.
Yep.
Right? School board shall pass a policy that says, they're going to hate it and they're going to get used to it like anything else.
Got it.
So if the one thing that we do have is we basically have 4 days of school with our 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, right? Or we have, well, basically, let's say we have 5 days of school before we meet again with the group. And I can have Nicole and or her staff reach out and say, how'd it go? Like, was it a huge problem? Was it not a huge problem? One of the biggest issues with the previous thing was simply what I refer to as teacher on teacher crime, which is where I'm the cool teacher. You're okay. You can have your phone.
Right.
Right. That needs to stop, like right now. Okay. And we can reinforce that image, and she can reinforce that image with the staff here, where I think the primary issue is building. I don't know how many kids in 5th grade have phones. I know they have phones, but it's
Too
it's an
many.
issue, right? Yeah. Okay. I agree. Right. If it's one, it's too many. Yeah. Okay. So, but I think that it is enforceable. My suspicion is because the kids obviously are all connected to everybody else all the time. Irony, right? Is they know it's coming, and they're going to kvetch and they're going to whine and they're going to do words worse than that. But I think they're going to get used to it.
Okay.
It's going to be a pain in the neck for a while.
I think the classroom, because they have a good system for classroom, I think it's going to be in between. It's
Yep.
going to be lunch in between, I think.
It's going to be difficult in between classes. If I'm a kid, the ones that are just have to have it all the time, they're going to run to the bathroom. And, you're chasing kids into a bathroom stall when they're looking in a backpack. That's not just completely not possible to supervise. The other issue we're going to have that we have to look at across the district with this is the parents that have gotten very used to communicating with their kids by phone, and not just necessarily checking in, but delivering messages about things that are going on after school and so forth.
Sure.
And Nicole and I talked this morning about how, let's say we have a day where after school activities are canceled. The announcement may be, hey, we're going to have to announce it.
Yeah.
After school activities are canceled. Teachers, please let your kids pull their phones out of their bag and reach out to their parents and let them know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Then they got to go away, or this game is moved, or this activity is not happening today. That's going to be the challenge. But I believe we need to trust that team, especially as they come together, to do the best they can. And like I said, we have 5 days worth of school. We can revisit this on the 3rd. And I can ask Nicole to come in and report on that. She'll probably come anyway, because we have a group coming that night from the high school. So I think that's what we're hoping to do.
Sounds like a great start, Bob.
Yeah.
And I would just ask that when they're talking about, because that was my concern is, it's usually the information comes from the kids to the parents, which is not how it should be. It should be coming from the school. I think we really need to utilize all of the apps and services that we have. We have the ability to text parents. We have the ability to email parents. Have the ability through Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To notify the parents right away of what's going on. So I just would ask that all of the administrators utilize those so that it's not up to the kids to notify the parents anymore. It never should have been up to the kids to notify the parents. And we really need to utilize that 100%. So, we just need to make sure that all the parents understand you have to sign up for Sports U if your kid is an athlete, because that's how you're going to get your updates. It's not going to come from your kid. It's going to come from Sports U.
I brought that up in our policy.
Okay.
that. Like,
Same page.
You know, for the baseball team, 9 times out of 10, my son was texting me, oh, the game was canceled. Oh, the
Right.
game was.
Yeah.
moved."
That's how I got everything.
And
Yeah,
I'm on Sports U and the
Right.
coach didn't use it.
exactly. Yeah.
I think that's something that the athletic director needs to really address.
Yeah.
Game cancellations were coming out of me. They were on Sports U.
But the other
Because that's how the
big
coaches found out half the time.
The other big thing is we also use the app. I mean the texting thing. I know every time the purple bus or the blue bus is not going on a route, don't even ride the bus. So I know we can do it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with that. I know. Yeah, but Sports U, and there are a couple tools that we can look at, like we talked a little bit in the committee about pickup patrol, whether that might be usable for something like this, and the messages back and forth. A sixth grade team could set up a Sports U account. There are 5 or 6 other things to do that, to create that level of communication. And the one thing you have to be a little careful there, I don't want to get too in the weeds, is that people tend to use the chat feature to reach out to you. And I would see like 60 chats a day. I wasn't reading those. So I had to get people used to the fact that I wasn't. If you need to reach out to me in different ways. Because it was all the teams. I was on all.
Right.
Ask a quick question.
Oh.
Is there a medical exemption?
Yes,
Yep.
There is
100%.
insulin pumps.
Yes,
Yeah.
for glucose monitors
Yeah.
or.
Yeah,
There's even a-
exceptions, students with medical needs such as insulin pumps and glucose sensors or disabilities that require a device to support their learning as identified in their individualized education program, IEP, or plan developed under Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, 29 USC, Section 794, blah, blah, blah. You get where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I wasn't paying. Could you read?
It is all covered in there. You're welcome.
And it's addiction to phones. That's covered too.
And there is a sentence there that says that the superintendent or their designee may approve additional exceptions on a case-by-case basis, which if interpreted broadly could mean, hey, everybody take out your phones quick. And
Well,
That's a
it's-
broad
with
interpretation.
respect to
right?
student medical disability or language proficiency.
it says or through. See, not in, so it,
Administrative.
Or through, yes, with
Right.
respect to student medical disability or language.
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So it is clear what it's for. So if you have, maybe you aren't, so typically somebody that has, an insulin pump, glucose sensor, or something to that effect, they have a 504 plan in place, a medical disability. So they're basically, I think what this is saying is if you don't have a 504 for your kid's medical disability, they have something medically going on and it's not covered by the 504, you can ask for an exemption to this policy for that. Or if your kid has a language proficiency that either for some reason they're not covered on, I don't know why they wouldn't be covered on a 504 or an IEP. But well, that's it. It may not be in place yet. It gives the ability for the superintendent exception. But it is specific to medical disability or language proficiency. So it's not just anybody that wants it can go and make that request.
I still see, Bob, I think you said you're taking out, but I still see the language.
Which one?
I think
I
he
see
was-
the language specific to the coaching and stuff. Is that staying in or?
There was no motion.
I was gonna say, I
Oh.
think he needs support
Oh,
to change it.
Okay.
See, I'm learning every day.
Yep. No, no worries.
Good job.
That's our language.
The language, the way it's proposed right now.
Is that, but where did it come from?
I will look.
That's new language.
No, I mean, is it in the law or is it us?
It is in the policy. Page 2, bullet A at the top. That second part, which is, I believe I'll highlight it now.
No, I'm aware of where, I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Where did
Sorry.
it derive from?
How did it,
From the law. or
I'm
that
looking.
is that in the
I don't
law?
believe that has a legal background.
It,
That's
I would be very.
assumption basically.
Well, it does say it, students participating, it is in here. It is in the recommended policy, but I don't necessarily think that part
Is in the law.
is in the law. Because it says bell to bell.
I think there are certain things that are assumed. And so if the law is bell to bell, then that should be our policy. And if it's outside of that, then we should leave that to the
Right.
trusted adults that we've put to lead teams, clubs, et cetera.
Yeah, because if we take this out, it's still
What's happening.
up to the coaches.
Right.
Yeah.
if we
Exactly.
take this
We
out.
didn't change anything.
It doesn't
It's
change.
just, Yeah,
I don't think it needs to be in.
the less, the
I'd
less
agree.
text, the better.
Right.
Is that your motion to remove it?
Did I,
Well, I'd have to amend.
yeah, can I amend my motion to remove the section that discusses the coaches after extracurricular activities, to remove that section?
Second. And then Bob, I guess one last question. I'm interested in what your message is going to be to the staff. Because that'll really make a decision on
Do
whether
we
or not.
remove that language first? Not to be a guy, but
No, good, yeah.
Indefinitely.
like, we're good.
Did we vote on it?
Well, you know what? It hasn't
Nope.
been officially voted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm,
Discussing.
We're still,
We're in discussion.
we're still there.
I see you have it highlighted, so just wait.
Yeah,
one
it's
second.
marked for deletion.
Mark.
Marked for deletion. All right. I just want to make sure I was doing it right, so I have the final version correct.
So I guess the message to the staff on the discipline, because you're gonna have people that are strictlers for policy. And you're gonna have kids that have phones attached to their hands, like probably everybody at this table that has kids. That now has to come to school next week, put their phone in the backpack. And again, I'm all for this. But they leave their phone on and the phone goes.
Mhm.
Okay, and you have a stickler for policy and they bring the hammer down. That's my fear. So like, I guess my question is, again, what's your message to staff when it's approved?
Well, it's the same thing it was a year ago when I spoke to the staff about this exact thing as kind of the old guy in the room, in this room, was basically those of you that are letting kids get away with stuff, knock it off. I think that's actually the words I used. Because they're setting their colleagues up because they're not willing to follow the rules that are fairly simple. It's not rocket science last year to have your kids put their phones in a thing. Are kids going to cheat the system? Yes. And then you know what? They get down to the office, they drop their phone off, they come back to class. So it's important, it's vital in something like this that everybody is very consistent about how it's applied. You know, and it can be, I want to be the cool kid, or I disagree with the rule, or whatever. That doesn't work for me. And the other thing that I've stressed to the principals several times already, that if staff are not willing to do that, there needs to be a conversation that's recorded. So
I
you
think
know,
what Rick's question is like, is there gonna be a little bit of grace period? So like, let's say a kid does put it in their backpack, but they didn't turn it off. And they
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
Are are we gonna give the first maybe 30 days that?
Well, what I heard Bob specifically say a few minutes ago, which I was hoping he was going to repeat, was that, the first week, the teachers will be talking to the kids and reminding them of the policy, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping to hear. That's the only way I vote for this. Like, I understand the need for it, but I don't want to see kids that forget to turn their phone off and have a stickler for a teacher bring the hammer down the second day of school and they're trying to figure this out.
yeah, I mean, the current, I shouldn't say the current, last year's way of doing things in situations like that is the kid went down to the office and the phone just stayed in the office the rest of the day.
Yeah.
They were separated from it and they just got to pick it up at the end of the day. We recorded it. I believe they would put it in Alma every time. So we had a record. If you didn't see the kid for 3 more months, okay, whatever, right? If the kid was down there 3 times in the first week, consequence, that sort of thing. And it's going to take a while. And like the cafeteria is going to be a bear. That's going to be, I think, the biggest issue for kids. And, that's, am I looking for my backpack? I'm grabbing my money. No, you're really not, but okay. And so it's not an easy thing to do, but I think as long as there's consistency and a lot of supervision time, the kids will settle in. They get used to it.
Okay.
Repeated reminders.
Based on
Yeah.
knowing a lot
Yeah.
of the high school teachers, they're gonna be as graceful with this, I don't think a teacher's gonna want to throw the hammer down like the first week of school. Like,
Yeah, I know.
come on, guys, like we gotta do this. So in my opinion, based on the teachers that I know.
Hmm.
I feel really bad for the teachers with this.
Yeah, I think, hopefully it's not a distraction, right? Because it would defeat the whole purpose of trying to accomplish.
Gauging instruction.
Maybe
Yep.
call
Best. Yep.
75 schools, state petition to get this changed.
Well, I mean, I think I said there's 10 states that have similar laws right now. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd honestly be nice if kids didn't have all day.
Yeah.
Let them talk.
Yeah, the only thing that I was getting at before, and again, like Rick, I completely support this. It feels like a step forward, ostensibly a step forward. But for the teachers, it feels like it's a step backwards. Because what we have in place is a system for them to clearly confirm that a kid doesn't have their phone. Now they're not going to be able to do that as easily. So it's like, that's what's annoying about it is the phones are in the pouches.
Either.
I know where they are or anything else.
Can't use any
Right?
of it, everything.
Like it's a known entity. It's on the wall. They're all over there. So even if they're on, who cares? They're not near the kids while I'm teaching them. But now they're right next to me in my bag. Oh yeah, it's quote unquote off. And I got to worry about that as a teacher. So that's why it's annoying. And I guess I'm fine with moving forward with it, but I think we have to move forward with it with the knowledge that it's not entirely going to be enforceable. We're going to have to just do our best and be okay with it. That part of it.
And potentially make room.
And potentially, yeah, add stuff to it.
All right, if there's no further discussion, we are now voting on the amended motion that pulls out the portion of the policy that talked about after school regular activities, co-curricular activities, field trip activities outside the school. All right, all in favor? Unanimous. JKAA, use of restraints.
Sorry, which one was it?
JKAA.
Use of restraints and seclusion.
So this one that we went over, I think this was all to comply with what the laws are. We haven't updated it since 2019.
Correct.
I'll go back and say that the teachers and staff are going to be getting training tomorrow on this. So we had asked that we get reported back to how the implementation is going of this. I'm not really sure if there was anything that we.
The only discussion that we had was about,
Highlight.
I brought up the time frame on the report filing to DHHS. I just thought it was,
5 days.
I thought the 5 days was too long based on just my own experience. But based on looking at, we actually pulled up the reporting that they'd have to do and they're like 30 pages. So yes, they need that 5 business days.
And there's a verbal that is made to the
Yes.
parent within 24 hours. So
Immediate.
what's that?
Verbal's immediate, I think, right?
Yeah, verbal
Okay.
is immediate.
Immediate. The parent immediately knows. So when you're getting the report 5 days later, this isn't brand new information to you.
The report doesn't go to, the report goes to the state,
Oh, yeah.
but there would be information that could be shared with the caregiver. That is internal.
Yep.
And Bob, you said if they're not trained, then they're not around the kids. Like, this is a hard.
The message sent really very strongly to everybody today was, if your online training is not done, you're not in front of kids on Tuesday. We're doing the training with the attorneys tomorrow. We've had some staff that had to be out for personal reasons, sick days and things like that. They're going to be viewing the training before they are with kids, and we'll be doing roughly quarterly trainings in this and sort of refreshers for people on certain aspects over the course of the year. Yeah.
Is this an actual certification or is it just clicking through the?
There
slides?
is a certification program, CPI. I'm trying to remember what it means. That is, we have certain specific staff in each of the buildings that are trained in that particular method. It's a 2-day training, I think. I haven't done it in a while, but that they are certified to do. Thank you. It's done by the Crisis Prevention Institute, but it tends to be called CPI training.
Mhm.
And that's done for people that would be using restraints in particular, in instances. I think we're going to see more of situations in this, kids punching another kid out in the cafeteria here at the high school 3 years ago. I go running across the cafeteria and grab the kid and drag him out of there. If you read that, it's a restraint. It's legitimate because you're protecting the safety of another student. There's no concern with it, but it fits within the policy. So we may see more of that. But I'm not as familiar with students that we may have in the building, particularly the lower levels, that may fall into a category. This may be happening more often. And one of the things the committee asked me to do was to get back to you guys with the kind of numbers that would have fit into this last year. So, and I'll have that information for you.
And are we at the discussion point yet?
I don't think, no.
Yeah, I don't think we are
probably made a
either.
motion. We should have made a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve for first and second read JKAA use of restraints.
Second.
Thank you. So Ken, also to your point, and Bob, I am going to apologize because we're on the heels of something here in the district. But in under training required, to be clear, it says, based on the law, the superintendent shall ensure that each school building has staff who have been appropriately trained in the proper and safe implementation of seclusion or restraint techniques. Like this falls on leadership, right? It says right there, it's the super. Now we know it's not going to be you training every person,
Yeah.
but it's you ensuring that every single person is trained, right? Like the buck stops, as you like to say, Ken, with the superintendent, So.
Agreed.
That's why I was asking, there's an actual certification. What's the evidence that everyone has done this training? It's
Not-
online or
Not everyone gets CPI, so
not
there's
CPI,
the vector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The general training.
Yeah, they have to, the way I understand it with the online training is they have to actually log in. They have to take the training. There's a checkout at the end, correct? Like they have to take a checkout quiz at the end, to verify that they have taken it. And I know I did speak with Christine and she said not one person is stepping into the building
Yeah.
until
Okay.
that
Yep.
is done.
Yep.
You can run a report.
You can run a report
I
on
like
that. Yeah, and she is
We take,
on top of it.
We use a similar, we don't use Vector, but we use a similar system and I can run a report to see who's not trained in our de-escalation and our,
And the people that are missing tomorrow, the ones we know about ahead of time, have time to schedule to view the video, say on Monday,
Mhm.
before the kids return on Tuesday.
and to Bob's point earlier, it's not a one moment in time thing. A lot of these, like for at my work, a lot of the trainings we do are quarterly. It's the same thing. You gotta do it again. Just keep doing it.
Yep.
And, so.
we make our staff get retrained.
And our question for the policy folks, so the legal references on this one are up to date, verified. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I'm good. Thank you.
And just for a note that I think is in there as well, there are some slight bullet differences and some other just font kind of things change because the way we do our policies, we do everything in bold. So there'll be a little cleanup that I'll have to do before we put it out, but it won't change a word. It'll just change a little formatting.
All right, further discussion? Okay, all right, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, BEDH.
So this one, I think, was the one that we acknowledged was not sensitive, that we pass it tonight. We thought there might be some opinion. So if this one, if it just goes through for first read, I think that we were understanding of that.
I make a motion to move first and second read be.
Second.
So I know we can actually, so we have the discussion.
Yep, thank you.
Nailed it.
So I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
This looks nothing like the old policy at all.
This is the NHSBA policy.
Okay, because it says here we originally adopted date 2/1 of 2004. Our original policy was adopted 1979. Revised January 22nd, 1997, reaffirmed August 11th, 2010, revised December 19th, 2018. So that threw me off. So this is a lot of new language, correct?
Do you have the 10 pager or the 6 page?
10.
I have 10. I'm reading the very top of.
Yep.
Says the original adoption date 2/1/2004.
Five.
Last
Only
revised
five.
date 8/1/22. Like that doesn't correspond with any of the. dates of
That's,
the current policy.
no, because that's the NHSBA, I think, when their version of the policy.
So this would have to all be changed.
So this, I think,
Are we in BEDH?
Yes.
yeah.
I don't see what.
Mine's 5 pages.
mine's 5 pages.
Yours was 10 and so.
Yeah, there was two.
So which one are we looking at here?
Looking at this,
That's
There's,
Not-
and I can fix that in a sec.
This is what Bob had.
There's the
sent.
original version, and then I
Close enough.
created one that matches the format that we've been looking at this evening, that takes out the old language and puts the new language in. I can email that to you guys in just a sec.
The
So,
10-pager one has all of the.
Right, that's what I'm
yep.
looking at.
And I was gonna do that, and then I grabbed a piece of pizza instead.
I
So-
think I got mine in the shared. Did you guys get yours?
I'm in the shared folder.
I only see one.
I went through,
I went through
I
the
went-
policy agenda.
Yeah, so,
and I went through the meeting agenda. The link on it.
and Bob sent out an email with a link.
Yep.
Yeah, which
We
this
expect
is where I
more.
got this one from. So, yeah, I think I need the right document in order to really go through it.
So which
I
one
would-
is it? Is it the 10-pager, the 3-pager, 5-pager?
It's the one that looks like the other ones you've looked like tonight.
Bob, why don't you just send it to an email to everybody on the board?
Doing it right now.
Review it, please.
You got it. It takes
It's
a
fine.
second. It takes about 30 seconds to send it out.
Yeah.
I've got the oops button set, so it takes about a half a minute to send it to you. But what effectively was done was the same thing, just replaced it straight up with the language from the School Board Association. There were a couple of things where they gave you some options. Like speakers will be allotted X number of minutes, and then if you have the old NHSBA straight up version, it's 3, 5. It gives you options to do with that. So you'll see some of that.
We reviewed the options in there.
Did you guys get it?
Yeah,
I just
you
got
just got it.
I haven't got
Okay,
it.
this is not the one I was.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
Yeah, no, definitely wasn't
Yeah,
what I
this
was.
is the one we were looking at. It's a 5-pager.
We got it.
You had the right one.
You guys
Good
have the
job.
right ones.
On
Oh, did we have the wrong?
I think you selected the 5-page because it was 5-page.
Right, you guys wanted the
Let's
short.
be honest.
we don't like bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Work
It's kinda-
smarter.
Work
Work smarter.
Not the one.
No, this is not the one that we had.
shorter, the better.
I think it's this, it's a lot of it's the same.
I think it's the same. I think it's just got,
So I feel kind of like the highlights of
Yeah.
of this is and up for discussion, things that I think that there's been some debate on is changing or taking out the policy that it has to be a topic that's on the agenda.
That was never in there.
That's not in this one.
That was never in.
we were told it was.
That was Tom's interpretation.
Okay.
Told us that.
So it's not okay, it's not in there.
It's not in this.
It does it's not in there.
It does say that it needs to be. I have to find it, but it does say it has to be, something to have to
Germane
do
to the
on
district.
either on the agenda or having to do with the district. And if someone has,
I don't think it said on the agenda at all. Because
I thought it did on
It
this.
says,
There was something, maybe I was reading the NHSBA
yeah,
somewhere in there. But it says that you can't,
It does. It says right here, number 3.
I thought so.
Additional public comments for specific agenda items. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where they sort of,
Yep.
well, that's new.
that was the interpretation.
that was the interpretation.
The incorrect.
Right.
So, but it says like, you can talk about agenda items, you can, you can make comments about things going on in the districts, but you cannot come up to the microphone and just,
Talk about the Red
Read.
Sox.
right, that goes specifically to the superintendent. So,
Lucky me.
I think some of the other highlights too were the amount of time that we spent on it. So item 3 does say a minimum of 30 and a maximum of blank minutes. So I think that was one thing for discussion. And
And it will.
I don't know if we want to,
The blank
Five.
is intended to be filled in.
correct.
Yep.
So that's what we have to discuss here.
Right. So we had discussed having it be a maximum of 30 minutes.
Did we make a motion yet?
I make a motion.
To move it, so we're in discussion.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Okay.
What's a minimum of 30 minutes, the maximum?
Well,
30 minutes too.
Yeah, I think what we discussed in policy was just a maximum of 30 minutes. I don't think we put in the word minimum.
I said minimum 30, maximum 60, so we could do like first public comment Like, so like between
okay.
public comments, we could use up to 60 minutes.
Okay.
I felt that that was more than fair.
What was the,
Oh, the other one, the other optional that we were taking out was the technology piece, having people being able to like comment from Zoom at home. We felt that due to technology sometimes dropping or bad connections, we were worried people would think that they were being cut off or censored. So we felt like it would not be appropriate to have people to be able to like comment from on
Right.
Zoom.
and if you can read someone else's letter if they're from the town.
Yeah.
There's no anonymous letters. So if you can have someone read it for you, but your name has to be on the letter. We also think struck out, there's somewhere in here that it said, we struck out, it said, you must be on a list to talk at public comment. So we struck out that part.
was like
You
a
don't need to sign up. Yeah, we took that out.
Yeah.
And we also
Working.
said we could keep that, there was a section on and email the board, you can send a letter, like,
Yeah, the written public comment.
yeah, the written public comment. We didn't want to put it in there, but we would strongly suggest to the members of the public to give us at least 24 hours to read an email. Hour before a meeting is probably not going to be read.
Yeah, if you email us an hour before a meeting, we're probably in a subcommittee meeting. So,
So the suggestion was,
But it-
one of those fill in the blank, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day before. The
well,
subcommittee didn't
I think you can, there
restricting-
was there's no rule that you can't email us within. You email us, you can still email us at 5:00, but just don't expect that
But
we
for
read
your-
it at the meeting.
For your comment to be acknowledged for the meeting, it would need to be 24, like at least 1 day.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of things to discuss, and I don't know what all of you think of all of that. Also another comment too, it's, the part in order, okay, so item number 6 says, in order to comply with the official minutes requirements, speakers shall identify themselves clearly for the record. That does not state in that part that you have to be a member of the community. However, if you read down
Number 7.
number 7, it does specify that there. So that was just something that we kind of brought out, but item number 7 does specify that.
I think the biggest thing is the optionals, like what is we as a board want for what is considered optional. So like the time frames, the number of minutes to speak, are we keeping it per speaker?
Is that in here? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 4.
I-
I think we should just work our way down though, because there's a lot of
Go from
things.
blank to
Actually,
blank.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
So the first one we have to talk about is the maximum.
number 3. Yep.
When we say a minimum of 30 minutes,
That's
I don't
required
think-
by law.
that's required by law.
is
Oh,
that
Yes.
what if there is nobody?
sit here for 30
Yeah,
minutes?
then you move on.
Allotting it.
So then it gets
Yeah.
saved for the end of the meeting. And
Oh.
if nobody's here, then it's gone.
Oh,
Washes
okay.
away.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
All right.
Yeah.
So we say first public comment, nobody speaks, then we go to second public comment.
Yep.
Then at the end of the meeting, we say anyone else and then.
Yep.
Right?
All right. So we don't have to worry about minimum.
Yeah.
Max.
I think 60 minutes is fine. And the reason being, it says this period may be extended by a majority vote of the board.
Oh,
So if there's a
yeah.
topic that pops up that
Absolutely.
warrants more public comment for whatever reason, we want to hear constituents. And so we authorize that as a majority of the board. So I'd be fine 30 to 60.
And I think it's, so we're clear. First public comment, nobody speaks. The 30 minutes from that public comment goes to second public comment.
Yeah.
And then that maximum then is 60 minutes,
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which can be extended, as Jeremiah stated.
Correct.
Okay.
By acclamation.
So we had 60 minutes. So number 4 is, are we keeping the 3 minutes?
I don't think 3 minutes is enough time.
Not enough time.
Every time I see somebody get up to speak, whether they're nervous or not nervous, we're cutting them off.
You want to do 5?
I think 5 would be
Yeah.
a good amount.
I'm good with 5.
Yep.
Yeah, 5 will give 6 people essentially.
Right.
the chance to get up.
Trying to do the math, I'm like, that gives,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
gives 6 people.
I just don't think 3 minutes is, we've all seen it. Where we're
Yeah.
cutting people.
Trust me, it drives me crazy to have to try and somebody when they're in the.
And again, if we have one of those topics that warrants more
Yeah,
time,
can
then
we-
we give more time.
Give more time.
You
We
know,
build that in there?
What?
Just that,
Spelling it out.
spelling it out that 5 minutes may be extended based on the.
No, I don't think that's what they were talking about. You can extend. So the reason that there's a limit per person is to make sure everybody gets the same amount of time to speak.
to speak. Yeah.
So that it's not like, okay, well, but that person, you gave that person 20 minutes. How come
Right.
I don't get 20 minutes? And
Yeah.
at that point, you've got
Yeah, sure.
3 people that can talk and then your
Right.
public comment could be over.
But it doesn't say that
So.
people can't get up more than once. If, for example,
Oh,
if there's only 3 people here.
I don't know because I was
Somewhere it
rereading
did say
It says
that.
individual speakers will be allotted 5 minutes per person. Each speaker will be permitted
Speak-
this equal time. So I think we
It
need
does mean you get to
clarification.
go up once.
I think it
Yeah.
means you can actually only come up once. in
Speakers
your
may
5
not
minutes.
relinquish
Yep.
a lot of
It's
time
gray.
to other speakers.
Yeah, I don't know.
If we're gonna interpret it that way, I would argue that's very gray.
Yeah.
It says speakers may not relinquish a lot of time to another speaker. So
It's okay.
that sounds like
It's very gray.
you only get
Yeah.
one. So I think we
That's
need
what
to,
it
I
says.
think we need to be clear with that. If
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
saying you
that's
get-
all I'm saying. If
Yeah,
that- if
and
that's the
we can follow
interpretation.
up. We can follow up with NHSBA and ask them to clarify that.
We could always
That's
say,
not a big deal. I'm sure they'll be happy to do that.
we could clarify if they can speak at first comment and then
And then second comment.
But
But
they
I
can't
would,
speak, like, we had one meeting where one person came up 4 times in the same public comment.
and I think, when you're talking about the 2 separate public comments, I kind of feel like you're talking, there's different agenda items that are coming after.
Sure.
So I feel like in that situation, I feel like you definitely should be able to get up again and speak to
Yeah,
those other agenda items.
That's what I want to make sure we're
Yeah.
talking the same, like,
Yeah,
I think this policy is meant to engage,
Yeah.
not
it
constrict.
feels
So,
restrictive.
yeah, I don't want to, it shouldn't be restrictive, right? And I don't think that's what we want to do. So we
I know.
want people to get up and
But-
For
speak.
practical.
I think they're just trying.
Right. Yeah, we need to be practical. We don't want to restrict people, but we need to be practical
I
about.
think it's also to make sure that you don't have, like Heather said, somebody that comes up 4 or 5 times and takes up all the time and then other people don't get any time.
Understood. yeah.
Time's gone. So I think that's why they.
So maybe it's one 5-minute session for each
Per-
session.
Per,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
for
I'm.
public comment. Yeah, and I think that makes sense because the public comments come, at different times with different topics.
Yep.
So I think that's appropriate. But we can confirm with NHSBA that we're interpreting that correct.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So are we going to have Bob adjust that right now to that new language, or are we waiting for a clarification?
I think we need, I'm sorry. I think we need some,
I say we just do this as a first read.
Yeah, we can.
With
we can
our
have
notes and
more
then.
let's do that.
Okay.
Problem.
Then my motion for, to approve BEDH for first read only.
Second.
Yeah, Bob, do you want to throw that in there just so?
I want to clarify the question. that
The
you
note.
asked.
So number 4, the time allotted per person, is that in total for the entire public comment period? The 2 different, because we break ours up into 2 different sections, not every board does. Or are they allowed in each public comment to have that 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And the other thing maybe we should clarify is if we're doing it in 2 separate, do we need to clarify? Although I think it does clarify that it's a total of maximum of 60.
It's a maximum of 60.
Okay, I just wanted to.
The second comment really is, if we go long on first comment, do you have to have second comment?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to, and at that point, the board would just need to
Yeah.
Approved.
approve how much time they'd like to add.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Well,
Dirty in there.
I'm learning.
so, yeah, we're okay. All right, so, okay, so we have an amended motion to just do this for first read. Bob's gonna work on getting the answers for us. If there's no further discussion.
I have a couple.
But yeah, I think we have a few more.
Oh, we have a couple, you're right, we do have a couple more things to go.
2 optionals are first.
Right,
So we're on 5.
Yeah.
We're on 5.
Yeah.
We're between 4 and 5, I think.
Between
4, we were
I
okay
think
with.
we're okay, we just want you to clarify that.
Yeah.
But to sign up, do they have to sign up ahead, and can we do remote comment? I didn't,
We
Oh,
did we get rid of those?
got rid of.
Yes.
Yes, we got
Okay.
rid of the remote.
That's what I thought.
Those were,
Bloop.
Um,
No problem.
Number 5 is the written comment.
I think that in here, if we're gonna get rid of how far ahead they have to be submitted, my only concern is if we get it an hour ahead, like, I think there just needs to be something in there that says, like, if it's not received within a certain amount of time ahead, it may not be read at the meeting.
Right.
And
I think, you know what, I might have misunderstood when I spoke before. I wasn't thinking that that meant that their email would be read when I said that there should be no time. I just meant you can email me an hour before. I'm not going to respond to you though.
right,
So I think
I've never.
I misunderstood that. If we're reading it,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And but we didn't have this, I don't necessarily
New line.
had this in our policy before, so I don't know that people really knew that they could email and specifically request for things to be read at public comment.
yeah.
I- 24 hours, I think is fair.
I think 24 hours ahead is fair.
But I think it has to be
What-
specific in the email, public comment. please
Right,
make-
yeah.
And yes,
Yeah, you
in
need
the
to-
subject line, or in the, heading of it, it should say, for public comment, please read.
then who reads it?
And I have to read it.
The chair.
Sounds like you want to read it?
What do
I
we,
don't think that's a good idea.
what happens if like there's
That's
something in
the way other boards do it. They have the board chair has to read it.
So I understand
Why don't
I
you think it's a
understand.
good idea?
I think it's a good idea to to provide the opportunity for people to submit a written comment.
Yeah.
And how I read it in here,
Yeah.
which actually made sense to me, it's the written comment is actually included in the materials that are publicly available
Right,
at the
yeah,
meeting.
you're right.
Yeah, so you
So
can
that
save it.
would-
Right.
that
so
would
we
go right
staple
here.
it, So we don't even have to.
Somebody writes something that is quite frankly, they're writing it so that you have to read it publicly and
Right.
like that doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Oh, I like
Oh,
the idea. They can.
yeah.
oh,
Just attach it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 yeah,
Understood.
that's fair.
Well,
Oh, it says if the 30-minute, this is where I misread this. It says in the event that the full 30 minutes for public comment have not been exhausted. I read it differently. The board may read the written comments
May.
aloud at the meeting.
So
Yep, may.
that means the written comments don't have to put
Don't
this.
have to, but they do have to be put out.
Made
public.
publicly
Included in the
available.
They
publicly,
have to.
yeah,
Just
available.
like anybody that comes up to the
Yeah,
microphone
that's
to
just-
speak.
it's simple.
It goes
Yep.
in the minutes.
It's simple.
Just attach it to the agenda. That's a
What
good
if,
idea.
what if somebody's saying something about a staff member?
It's in
Then it
here.
can't,
If it doesn't fit the criteria, then it's.
Do we,
it has to fit
Probably
the
get it with-
down to-
of public comment.
That's why we
9
get it
and
24
10.
hours.
That's why we
okay,
need-
okay, yep,
More, it's right there and
Yep.
highlighted.
I see it. Okay.
So we're deleting this sentence right here, that what was in red?
We're going to change it to written comments must be submitted at least 24
sorry.
hours ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Although that makes it hard for Phyllis because then she's.
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
print
yeah.
everything
I was just thinking,
Okay.
And Bob, can you put prior to the meeting start?
and it's got to be reviewed too.
Yeah, so we might need more. Well, Phyllis, when do you,
Oh, yeah.
because Phyllis has to print all the.
Yeah.
When do you
Why-
do that?
Why don't we do 72 hours before board meeting? And if it's not received, 72 hours before board meeting, it will be
Next one.
included in the
Following.
next meeting.
Yeah.
That gives everybody, Phyllis, enough time for you?
Okay,
Yeah, and that gives us time to whoever's reviewing it to review it, right? And you can
Yeah.
attach the agenda. And then if it doesn't make the cutoff, we put it on the next board meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that idea, Rick.
That's good.
Okay. Thank you, Phyllis.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Comment.
Meeting time.
Prior to the start.
Prior to the start of the meeting or the meeting start or something. Yep.
What's the
Yep. Perfect.
call to order?
Meeting start is fine.
All right. What's the next one we're looking at?
That's the last optional.
Okay.
And then it's just like everybody always has, they identify themselves clearly. 7 is about being residents, parents, staff members, etc.
Number 12, why are we saying that it's gonna be 14 days in advance? Somebody wants something on the agenda. Request to have a matter placed on an agenda should be presented in writing to the superintendent no less than 14 days prior to the next board meeting.
I don't see that on number.
Number 12.
Second half of number
Written
12.
out.
Where did that come from?
NHSBA,
Yep.
their exact language.
It's their recommended guidance.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Anybody opposed to like 7 days or?
That's up to,
We can
and I don't know how long Don,
do 7. I mean, if it's something that can't be, if the request can't be handled for that next board meeting in 7 days, then we just let them know that, we'll put it on the follow.
Yep.
But yeah, I think, 7 days should be fine.
Yeah. We get 5 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So prior to the board, a board meeting, we get 5 days to
Yeah.
review things. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So.
And the administrators and anybody that wants something on the agenda has to have it in 7 days prior so that Bob and I have 2 days to kind of review everything and see if it's going on that agenda or there's not enough information or,
And it's more relevant by the time you get it. So
Right.
They send you something 14 days in
Yeah.
advance, it might not
Yeah.
be relevant at that time.
Yep. Nope, I think that's good.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else anybody wants
No,
to?
I think that would.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna follow up on this one, right?
Yep, so we'll follow up on it. Okay, so the motion was for first read, so if there's no further comment,
I do.
all in favor of it being first read?
First read.
First read, there you go, first read, got it. All right, okay, old business. We are going to Gordon, line wise.
Boy.
This is the thing.
This is the thing.
Uh-oh.
One of them.
All it's open like 6.
All at once?
Just close them all.
Little Chromebook can't.
And mine is about to die.
Will this work or not?
No, I have one of those USB-C.
Oh.
Fancy dancy like the kids have.
Yeah.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Oh, here, I can do that.
Gordon, before you start,
Oh, fantastic.
I thought we've already talked about this
Preliminarily.
Yeah, we asked,
preliminarily.
Back in,
We had some concerns.
we had concern.
Period. All that
Yep.
good stuff.
yeah,
Yep.
so
Okay.
we asked Gordon to,
We thought we worried about personal freedoms.
Yeah.
I
And
think this might work.
Yeah.
on.
I'm here for an update.
Okay.
We figured
Okay.
it's the summer. He'd rather be here then.
yeah,
Yeah.
intending to his perfect lawn.
Yeah. Gordon just likes hanging out with us. Okay. All right.
Perfect time to talk about it after the cell phone policy.
Yeah.
Because this will help.
It is.
Okay.
So yes, back June 6th, 4th, something like that, I introduced LineWise. And the biggest thing was the trial periods. I knew with the monitoring that we could do like a report only type thing as a trial, but I did confirm that the classroom manager and the web filtering can also be done as a trial. So that's what I'm here for today, to get approval to at least trial the classroom manager and the filtering. The monitoring may be a bigger discussion, whether, if we want to just do the reporting aspect of it, just to kind of see what it can pull. Or, if there's policies involved and whatever else that we need to do in order to do that trial. At the last meeting, Rick had asked if staff wanted to use this, and before I even finished, I had 2 emails. Bob had an email of staff who wished to trial it out. Since then, I believe we've got an additional 3 or 4 that are on board to try this out. So how that'll look is just those particular teachers will have the ability to, during when the students are in their class, be able to monitor their Chromebooks during their time in that class. And the filtering will be, I believe, just reporting only. I don't believe it will affect anything. It'll just give us a detailed report of what would have been blocked, and the students or staff that might be, accessing more things than others should be. So we can kind of find, the problem areas with this report. So my goal is to trial this out, and then maybe by the second meeting in September or first meeting in October to come back with our findings, what was thought about it, and go from there.
Just a couple questions.
Sure.
How many, like, is it a license? How many licenses do you get for the trial period, or how many applications?
So with the reporting, it'll just run off of our, network, our
Yeah,
our domain.
My bad. I'm not. How many actual teachers can you put in?
I'm not sure, but I did let them know that we had 5 or 6 interested, and they said okay. So
How many teachers, Bob, are in the district total?
Wow, curveball.
Roughly.
170 something.
170 something, Marie's telling me.
Yeah.
She would definitely know better than me.
So this would be qualitative, not quantitative data that we get,
Yeah.
right? I mean, 6 teachers, it may prove out some stuff. but-
3.3% of the teacher
Right.
population.
And it's 6 teachers that want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's my question, right? If we're gonna pilot and test something, and Gordon, as always, applaud the work, right, that you're doing. If we're gonna test and pilot something, we're gonna, potentially spend money on it. I would probably want a bigger data set to sort
right,
of.
which we can get. This was just kind of who had reached out to us, and we got responses pretty early, and we're like, great, they're reaching out to us for this, but we can reach out and find out who's willing to trial this.
I think we had like 5 days left in the school year.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing.
The timing was
Everything,
Just at the end of the year.
there was no way to get data.
Yep.
So the goal was to come in right before the school year and get this started.
I would
the
like to
trial.
maximize the number of free, trial periods and the number of teachers we get, so we get a good data set to make a decision. That would
Yeah.
be my.
And
I would agree with that.
yeah. Which of these, the first 2 items, the monitor and the school manager, aren't really involving teachers, right?
The
That's a
well,
system-wide thing.
the manager can be involved with the teachers. So say we have ChatGPT blocked for students only, but teachers have access.
Mhm.
But in a class, if a teacher wants their students to access ChatGPT, they can actually restrict or lift that
Unrestrict, yeah.
restriction on what's being done by the filter.
But generally speaking, when it comes to trial licenses or whatever, that kind of thing, it's really the class-wise that you would be involving.
Correct. The other 2 are just straight up reporting to be able to monitor what's going on and pull all the data across the school district.
Okay.
So I'm confused which one you're saying that you keep using the term reporting, but that's not in any 3 of these. So are you saying that we are going to trial the monitor, the school manager, or class-wise?
So the trial would be the class-wise.
Class-wise. Okay.
The reporting only, what I mean by that is rather than take action, it's just going to tell me that it would have taken action.
Yep.
And the first 2 things.
Correct. And with the first one, how that'll work is if there is actually something that it catches that's like a level 1 emergency, it will actually act on it. Because
Self-harm.
if we see it, we see it and it's just in a reporting, what good does that do us?
Okay, but we're trialing the class-wise.
The class wise would be a physical hands-on trial.
Yep.
The other two would just be a report generated.
Got it. Okay. So we're trialing them, but they're just report generating outside of this class one, whatever you just described.
Class-wise.
So like the monitor and the manager. The whole thing would be a trial, yes?
The whole thing is a
The thing
trial.
is a
Yeah.
trial
Yep.
No money involved.
for the first two items.
Yep.
Or you would just get a report of what they
Report
would have
only.
caught
Yep.
if we had actually implemented it for real.
Got it.
And with the level one stuff being really reported.
Correct.
And how long is the trial?
60 days, I think, 60 or 90.
Making a motion to move forward with the trial or to move forward with the whole thing. I'm just a little.
I think the
I
trial.
don't know
I think
yet.
the trial.
Correct. That's what
Okay.
I'm just looking to trial it now.
Yeah.
I make a motion to move forward with the trial for Limewise.
Second. Discussion.
So Gordon, for you, I echo Rick's earlier comment that I know you come up with these things and we come here and we shoot holes in it, right? It's not shooting holes at you. It's we want to be wise with how we implement these things. So I don't want 5 teachers that want the program to then tell us in 60 days they want the program. We know they want the program, right?
Right.
I'd like to see a cross section of teachers that are maybe not as interested and some that are interested to see how the program works, because it would be great to know that, oh, wow, the teachers that really wanted it, they decided that they didn't want it, or the teachers that were a little skeptical actually realized it would be really helpful, right? So it'll just give us a better data set to make a decision from.
Right.
So that's
And-
my
and
only request.
What I can try and do too, because throughout the year we do get help desk tickets of blocking game websites and
Yep.
we get requests of, can we see the history of, this student's Chromebook because I walked by, it looked like they were looking at something inappropriate. So what I can do is I can try and filter out those requests in our help desk system and reach out to those teachers direct and see if this is something they want to do as well.
Cool. Thank you.
So, like you said, given the new cell phone policy, this wouldn't be something theoretically that supposed to work on any devices except for the ones that the school provides.
So
Chrome.
this works on the Chromebooks for the students. The web filtering, if we do the hardware aspect of it too, which was it was down at the bottom, like $1,800 a month, a year, for the hardware. That will do anything
On the network?
on the network. So any cell phones connected to the guest network will get the same filtering. So they wouldn't be able to connect to the network, then connect to a, VPN that they shouldn't be accessing, even stuff like Netflix and whatever that would take up bandwidth. This will take effect on, the personal devices as well on the network.
Which of the 3 things above the monitor, manager, and class-wise does the hardware allow you to implement?
The manager.
The manager,
Yes.
the filtering.
So then on top of with the monitor, each student comes with a parent license where a parent can actually take it and put it on their student's cell phone, so that anything that they're doing on their cell phone that might show self-harm, bullying, anything like that, the parent can actually get those text messages, that the screenshots of emails on their student's phone. So that's an optional feature for parents as well. And that's not something that we see.
Right.
And this isn't a like a package deal. You can
don't wanna
implement
get into
one.
that.
with
I don't want to.
Correct.
Yeah, that
Correct.
It's not our
Yep.
job.
That seems way too invasive.
Yep.
I'm not-
There's Bark, there's plenty of other.
There's other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want any piece of that.
Yeah.
They got their
I
own.
think I might go
Yeah.
back to the bill.
I know. Thank you for
But
letting
just
us know.
yeah, we wouldn't see that stuff here. So that's strictly
Even-
parent
no,
to
Question
student.
Yeah.
Empower
Said
parents.
was, it would, anything on the network. So would you get a report, just to say, I'll just say Gabe is in here, okay, my son. Would you get a report on anything that is really on his phone, meaning any open websites, or just the things that we flag as?
Just the things that.
Well, that would be, no, everything you do on here, I can ultimately dig down and,
Yeah,
and
okay.
find on the
That's why-
network.
that's why I
But
was-
I can do that now.
Now, that's true today.
That's any
Nice.
network.
Wanna see-
But it's not, I don't see a clear picture of it. I see
And
IT traffic and,
Yeah, no,
you
I
know what
get
I
it.
mean? I can see websites and stuff like
So
that.
not,
Go with
a-
these
not a package, but we can select what we want,
Correct.
take off.
Got it.
Correct.
Thank
And I would say that the school manager and the class wise are probably the two that kind of flow the best together. The monitoring is something that I've had over since I've been here, really. Anytime a new administrator has come in, new principal has asked me, do we have, Go Guardian, Linewise, there's Bark, there's a bunch of different companies that do this monitoring. So it's something that's, relatively common in school districts. And it seems like, anything I look at has some sort of monitoring with it,
But
you know.
this is still, the LineWise monitor is still, it says it uses AI to detect signs of self-harm, bullying, and threats in real time. And alerts designated staff. Over what devices?
Chromebooks.
Okay, so this would mean,
There's an agent that's installed on the student Chromebooks. So it's only monitoring the Chromebooks, where the filtering monitors all the hardware will monitor any traffic on the network. Now, this is monitoring going to websites versus self-harm, bullying. The two different monitorings.
yeah. I'm just thinking about the use case of that, given the fact that the phones aren't going to be, theoretically aren't going to be a big thing. Like, I don't know if bullying through a Chromebook is,
It happens.
but it will,
And
right?
so we had a situation last year where a social media platform was used between two students that you would have never thought
Mhm.
had some sort of communication, aspect in it. And that's how
Okay.
these students were talking. The monitoring will catch that type of activity
On the
Okay.
Chromebook.
On the,
in real time. So even if you're in Gmail and you start typing, at lunchtime, I'm going to find you and we're going to fight,
Right.
it'll catch that without them even sending it. They
Okay.
start backspacing to delete it. It's already caught.
Again, just for clarification, on the Chromebook, a school issued own. device.
Correct. Monitoring is Chromebook only,
Yep.
school issued device or iPad, where the school manager, the web filtering is school owned device, Chromebook, staff laptop with the hardware becomes
all network.
everything.
And I do have to be careful. Just thought of this. Gabe just turned 16. I do have access to his phone, and I'm proud to report there is nothing bad on it. Because he will give me some,
Oh, yeah.
I will get a tongue lashing in a couple days. Bad joke.
I guess
One more thing too, which it's in the quote, and I realize that I haven't ever, or I don't recall if I've mentioned it. But the content aware that's on that quote, what that ultimately is a blur for images and videos that, you go on a website, maybe it's a pop-up that pops up on the side. It's going to see that and it's going to actually blur that section. So if you've got, a video, for example, it was a video of like a swimsuit pageant with the extension off, the female comes out in a bathing suit, see everything. With it on, as soon as it flashes to the female, it's all blurred out. So it allows us to kind of, especially with the younger kids, they get on the iPads or, on their Chromebook and Memorial and, they start searching stuff, it'll blur all that out.
Okay.
So that's part of the manager as well.
So the motion on the table is to approve the trial period of 60 or 90 days. We're not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 60, but it might have been 90 because I believe the report that I have as a demo report from the monitor was a 90-day.
Okay.
And with the understanding that, oh, hello, such trial will be conducted in a way that we get some statistically significant data and a good sample size of the teachers.
Yeah, it's up to Gordon and Bob to promote
Yeah.
as many users. Gordon, you secure as many users to get in the trial, and then Bob, you select the people.
Yep.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you.
Gordon.
Yeah, thank you, Gordon.
So is that,
We're gonna
did you?
Oh, yeah.
vote?
So I was
Thank you.
gonna-
Gordon.
if there's no,
Can we have Gordon address? We had public comment earlier. Is it in relation to this?
Yes,
It was.
yeah,
direct.
What was the question?
The question was about potential,
yes.
Yeah.
There
but
was-
it was kind of about the.
Yeah, I
I
think
was still reviewing
some of- some-
the filtering. I
It's the
think
same
that
thing we
can-
shared. We had concerns.
We
a
had
lot of us
similar
had
concerns,
concerns
right?
last meeting.
And this stuff is fair, I guess the question is, this is fairly adept and sensitive at getting the things blocked that you don't want and letting the things in that you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's blocked age wise. So obviously, a high school student is going to have kind of a more open,
Mhm.
Internet compared to a second grader.
I got you.
And it's all, adjustable, I guess. So if there seems to be something that, hey, we need to allow this, we
They're acceptable,
allow it.
Build in, okay.
And then in situations like I mentioned with, Chat GPT, if there's something that shouldn't be allowed, but it might be something in curriculum that the teachers need them to access, they can, with the class wise, lift it from the filter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we didn't have the class wise, then we would go in and do it ourselves.
Right.
But it would open it up for,
Right.
whoever we select.
Yeah.
Could one of us, Jeremiah, maybe get the trial? We could filter. We could try the filter on.
You're wearing the jacket.
We've got the blazer on.
The filters,
Right. And
I'm being serious. Like that.
I hear
we
you.
could
I hear
type
you.
it.
It's the blazer. I get it. So one of the things that that Pam shared earlier, which I agree with, is that history is filled with inappropriate things, but they're part of history, and we either learn those things or we risk repeating those things. So when students are trying to learn about Nazi Germany and they get flagged for inappropriate, whatever, now that's a part of history. Like
Right.
it's uncomfortable and it's terrible, and kids have to learn it. Right. And so we've got to be really careful about what, the language can feel very good that we're protecting kids and safeguarding kids and preventing bullying. But when you dig down in the website and there's an ethics committee that's going to decide what is and is not okay, well, that's where we begin going, nah, I don't know that I'm interested in that. Right.
Right.
That's the kind of the line that we're we want our kids to be safe, and we don't want all that stuff. Right. But there's also part of academics that is a little risky, and we've got to be able to move into those waters.
Right. And I think, that's where the age part comes in.
Yep.
On top of, this is more for, the violence of, maybe, some current events, school shootings, stuff
Sure.
like that, how to build a bomb type stuff.
Yep.
Hit list.
If you were, doing research on, World War II or something or whatever, it's going to depend on the website as well. If you're, it's going to know if it's a shady website, like, hey, you Googled this and this populated, but yeah, not a good site to go to.
Sure.
Where a reputable website,
Yeah.
it'll let you through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not going to be perfect day one, just like,
Sure.
the policies, cell phone policy, not going to be perfect day one.
Yeah.
There may be a time where like, hey, we need to open this up a little bit, or hey, we need to lock this down a little bit more, and that's kind of what the reporting will give us during this trial is, hey, what was accessed a lot? all right, this was hit a lot. Is this something that we should lock down a little more
Got it.
or open it up a little bit more?
I think it might be dangerous to have Jeremiah on there. He's going to try and break the system constantly. God knows what
He's gonna test
he's
it.
going to test it 6 ways to Sunday.
But to answer your question, it's just a reporting. So if you want to be involved, just come on the network and just start
Volunteering.
browsing stuff.
He's not wearing a blazer.
I said
He
Jeremiah.
has no blazer on.
Ken, were you going to say something?
Do we need a policy around this? I mean, who's making those decisions? No disrespect, but is it one person in the back room is deciding what gets through? and what doesn't get?
I think that was.
Well, I think that's the whole
That's
point of the
Pam's-
trial.
That's
Yeah.
Pam's question.
You guys should say Ken.
How does that work?
It's all handled by the vendor.
Yeah.
So it's same thing right now. Our web filter we have now is handled by Sophos, our vendor, and what they deem to be weapons, pornography, violence, but it's not an actual
Yeah.
web filter. It's kind of like a, hey, we tried type ordeal. So what this is a filter that's handled by people, AI, and other things that kind of put this list of blocked, allow kind of together, and daily there are new VPNs popping up, new game websites popping up, and they're getting this information and they're inputting this into this system to then allow these game websites to be blocked, these VPNs to be blocked. So it's a constant, just like your antivirus. Every day, multiple times a day, your antivirus is getting an update because your antivirus vendor found issues, applied them, and now you're protected from those issues. So it kind of works the same way.
Yeah, like
There's the filtering that concerns me. It's the monitoring part. Everyone has filters. Corporate America has had filters for 20 years. Filtering's fine. It's the monitoring.
Mhm.
And the information's going outside of the district to a corporate cloud somewhere like MindWise corporate cloud. So they have the data from the school. Is it protected? Who's got guardrails on it? I'm not really comfortable with this unless I know more.
I mean, that you raise a good point about student information not being within the school.
Get a MAC address of a Chromebook.
Yeah.
You know who the kid is. I don't know. I have concerns about it, particularly the monitoring, not the filtering. I'm fine with the filtering.
The
Also-
cloud wise, I'm on board with that. The other
That's
two,
why I asked about policy, because you asked a question earlier in the response. Kid types in Holocaust or Nazi or whatever. Does, the school police come crashing down on them? Who's making the decision of, here's something that got flagged? Who's going to respond to it? I'm not.
Yeah,
It seems
so-
like there needs to be some policy.
Yeah, I,
Well,
there,
the-
well, I, before, yeah, I think if we would agree to implement, right, then we would need policies. What I'm hearing as a general consensus is, at least my interpretation, and it's just me, is that we're probably going to implement a portion of this, not all three portions. I guess the question I have now is, when we do this trial period, do we have to trial all three, or can we just trial two
Yeah.
portions?
We
So
can-
you're uncomfortable with Ken?
The monitoring.
So we don't, and I believe you had some questions about monitoring.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, do we move forward with just the class, the line-wise class and and just 86, the monitoring for now?
I would
In the trial
be
period?
86 until we know more. If we want to implement it, we think that's a good idea. I would want to know more about it.
Right.
What are the guardrails?
Yeah.
You know,
I hear. I mean, to your point, I mean, there's, when I'm logged into the, to my Google, the school, the SAU Google, I can't get on Google Maps. Like I just look, I can't get,
Oh, yeah.
like I can't get on Google Maps for some reason, which
Yeah.
is crazy, but, yeah, I mean, that's been in place, your company here, everywhere, right? But
Yep.
I share some of those concerns.
I guess for me as a mental health professional, if we can protect kids from self-harm and bullying and threats, I'm for that. And I think we live in a world where kids are connected to social media. They're connected to their devices. This is where the bullying happens, the self-harm happens. So I am in favor of of trialing the monitor because of the things that I see and hear every day. I understand what other people's concerns are, but you know, the suicide rate has gone up drastically in the last 4 years. And in the United States alone, we lost 42,000 people to suicide. It's the second leading cause of death for 10 to 24 years, 10 to 24 years. So if we can find a way to support and keep our kids safe, I would be for it.
I just went back to the information that Gordon sent us before, because as soon as you started talking about kids' information, I went, FERPA, trouble. It actually says in, so this is in the manager, I'll have to go check the monitor, but in manager, there's something that says I keep safe, locking compliance with CSPC, COPPA, and FERPA. So it does look like at least in the manager part. I'll go try and see if I can find in the monitor if it says anything about that.
Looking at the suite overview, Doc. Sorry.
I'm looking at, so there was the monitor brochure.
Yep.
Yep.
It says the same thing in
Does it
in
say
the
there?
monitor. Yeah, on page like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, the I keep.
What?
I
Yeah.
keep safe certified.
It doesn't look like, and the monitor is,
It looks for keywords.
it looks for keyword. Yeah, it seems like it's,
And I think that's what Gordon keeps trying to explain. The monitor looks for those keywords. It's not collecting like student information.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's
we
not
might-
sitting there just watching every little move.
Right.
It's,
We might be conflating the broad reach of the, what's the next one down? The filter. We might be conflating the broad reach of the filter with what the monitor is actively doing. It might be looking for a very limited, narrow set of trigger words and
looking-
phrases. Right.
and I do want to just make a point too that there is a signed data privacy agreement with New Hampshire. I just checked to make sure that that was there. So almost every, or pretty much everything we use has a DPA with the vendor unless there's no collection of student data where they would use and would have no need to put names or anything like that in there. So
Do we have any information from other school districts that are using it?
no, I can ask my vendor for some references, New Hampshire wise, see what they're doing, policy wise, see what they're doing, you know, in terms of how they handle the reporting of incidents. So like level 1 type reporting, we can have set go directly to police, where level 2 might be a phone call to principal. Level 3 might just be a summary email, you know, at the end of the week or something, you know. So I can find out what they're doing, you know, for that, you know, type of stuff as well. That way we're not overwhelming staff with stuff too.
Ken, if it, the I Keep Safe certified, to some of the things it says about that. Transparency and security. Certified products must demonstrate transparent data collection and usage practices, strong security measures to protect data, and commitment to responsible data handling. Then there's an annual reevaluation. Products must undergo annual reevaluation to maintain their I Keep Safe certification and compliance. So it sounds like there's measures in place that I would feel, I mean, I share your concerns, but I think I feel comfortable with the pilot. And then if we do, you know, if we would agree to implement that portion of it, then I would agree that we'll probably have to have some sort of policy around it, but
Yeah,
it seems.
what he just described, you know, how do we respond? We can't leave it up to, I mean, that's our, whatever job here, right?
Mhm.
Because if one of these level 1, level 2 does come across, how does the district respond? And we would need policies around that.
Agreed.
That can't be vague.
No, oh, I agree.
Absolutely.
I think we do have policies on how those things are dealt with if they're found in real time. Those
Yeah, I mean, we have bullying policies. I mean, this project is not mentioned in the policy. It's a new piece of technology. There's new, you know,
You need
alerts that go out. It's
You need to map the levels of alerts
Yeah.
that exist in the
Yeah.
product to our policies.
I agree with you. I think,
We'd have to merge them all together. So we have to have a policy around this.
I just feel like we need to do the trial. and
Yeah.
see what-
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
the
no, this is just a trial.
question I have.
If we don't like it, we don't like it. We don't do the monitoring, but
And then you
I
don't
think we
create
should just give it a try.
But from what I'm hearing is we're not gonna give it a try.
No, I
No,
think,
I
I
should think
think
so.
we're discussing it. And I want to make sure Ken's comfortable because he has valid concerns.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
get, on day one, it's trial or not, who's getting the alerts and who's responding to them?
It's a great question.
So
Those-
with the trial, the only thing we get are level 1
Right.
alerts
So
for
that's that.
let me rephrase that. The trial will only get a notification out to whoever we set it up for a level 1. Everything else is just straight report. So when you have it live, you set each level up how you want to notify.
Mhm.
With this, there's no notification other than the level 1. It's just going to be straight reporting. You can see all your level 2s, 3s, 4s, what would trigger different things.
So who gets the level 1 and who gets the report? Who's looking at the 2, 3 in the first 60 days?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
there would be no 2, 3s, and 4s.
So-
Right.
Go with-
I'm not seeing active live data.
So
What
level 1 though, who gets it? So
my guess is police officer,
what's that?
police. Because a level 1's going to be a school shooting, self-harm, anything like that.
Okay, so 9 o'clock at night, a student is on their school provided Chromebook, makes some comment or whatever, begins to type something that fits this level 1 criteria. So at 9 o'clock at night, notification goes out to Kingston Police, and Kingston Police show up to their house.
Correct.
That's how that works. Okay.
Correct. And that'll work.
Assign others too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
CC, DOS.
yeah, exactly.
You know, like.
But like, you're not going to want
Good for you to know.
you're not going to want to get a phone call.
If he's writing a paper about suicide or something, does that get flagged as
If
Kingston Police show up because you're writing a term?
if it does, it goes to an actual live team that reviews it and deems if it's an actual, hey, we should really check in on this, or oh, he's writing a paper. So there is a human layer
That's good.
that will review these things before.
And I'm looking at the monitor, and just so that we're clear, because I think this may have been misstated earlier, in the monitor, it actually says works online and offline, captures risks on and offline, and on any network. So that's for the monitor as well, not just what was the middle one? Manager. So even the monitor is working on any and all networks, meaning
Yeah,
your
because
Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah, it's
installed directly on the device.
it's an extension on the device.
So that's why if at 9 o'clock at night at your home,
Right.
you're typing it. would
But
be-
I don't know where does it say that on the is it in that
the
brochure?
expanded brochure on page 3, right at the bottom. Make invisible risks visible.
Works online and offline.
Yep, that's the statement right there. Captures risks on and offline and on any network.
Yeah, because it's going to be native on the machine. There's going to be.
Right, but the offline thing kind of throws me off. I'll have to check in on that because how is
Well, it probably can't report it while it's offline.
right? What it might do is the extension might capture it, but until it goes online, it's not going to send it out.
Yeah,
Saying
that's-
it's monitoring 24/7 and it'll send the report as soon as it gets
If
back.
they're not, they're not connected.
Right, there's no way.
So then in that situation, the student who's writing the 9 p.m. paper offline shows up to school, it goes online, so the police show up to the school.
Yeah, if I would imagine if it's
Okay.
a Monday through Friday type ordeal, and there may be some sort of setup too where the network where if the device is pulling an IP address from here,
Yeah.
that notifies them that it's at this building.
Okay.
I won't know until I really start setting it up and
Sure.
and
Yep.
playing with it.
Okay.
I think we asked you to come back with the idea of if we could do a trial, right? Is that
Mhm.
so? We're grilling him on these questions
That's
that
what
we
I-
don't know all the answers to. He doesn't know. We need the trial to get the answers.
Yeah.
We're not saying this is all moving forward. So I think he's come back with what we've asked him to come back with.
Yeah. I think
I
this
think
is
we should-
valuable conversation.
No, it is. But I think at some point we're asking him all these questions that he doesn't
Yeah.
know the answer to.
I was asking a question about the first 60 days. What are we doing the first 60 days, right?
Yeah.
We didn't even have an answer to that.
What's that?
Who's getting the reports?
So
The first 60 days, who's getting the reports? Is it Bob? Is it you? Is it the parents?
I can probably get it to anybody. So the way that the trial will work is it's not going to be a live infrastructure. So it may not be, I might not see anything until the trial is over. So the only thing that we may actually get is a level 1. I may not see the data until the trial is over. You know, I may have access to go in and kind of take a look and peek around, but as far as I know, it's just a report. So it's not going to be sending all this stuff out to all the people. It may just be a PDF that I pull, you know, download and set a filter. Hey, this week, you know, what kind of stuff did we get? You know, and only the level 1 would be the actual actionable report, which would be the police.
So theoretically, the audience is the decision makers around whether we implement the software and the hardware.
Yeah. And what I can do too is if I'm able to pull a weekly report, you know, I may do, you know, middle school students and high school students, send it off to the principal, you know, Memorial, send it off to the principal, you know, and kind of let them see the data that's coming in and, you know, and then that way other eyes are on it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And in conversation with the administration, we look at these reports and say, well, here's what kind of visibility this would have gotten us. Do you think this is valuable? What's your input?
No.
Then we think about it.
That's the understanding I'm trying to get. Right now we're talking, I could get this or I could get that and I could send it to that person. That's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
If we're going to implement this on day 1, we need something.
Well,
But it's the
we're asking for procedures, sort of like earlier tonight where we talked about the cell phone policy. We're asking for the procedures before the policy is set. The principal can't set the procedures on the cell phone policy until we or on how she's actually going to implement it until she has it. And I think these are all very valid questions, but we haven't, we're asking for who is getting this or that, but I think that they need the time to, I assume you guys are going to answer those questions. You're going to work with Bob and figure out who should be getting this or that or whatnot.
Right.
But so I think we're just getting a little bit too into the weeds on these. These are good questions, but
Well, it's a
Right,
topic
like-
that I think we need to, because you brought up suicide is on the rise, correct? You have a great point.
I'm not saying that none of these are good points. We've just been talking about this for 45 minutes.
And it could go another 15, but the motion that's on the table right now, I think needs to be amended. I think we need answers, Gordon. I think we could probably give a approval,
Give a conditional approval.
conditional
pending.
approval pending, you know, Ken's questions, like where are the level 1s going to? We want to see that. So, and it doesn't, I heard day 1. I don't think it has to be implemented on day. I think it has to be implemented day 1 when we're ready, right? Not day 1 of school. So I think those questions are good. We could give an approval to run the trial pending the clarification of where is that, who's going to see the reporting, right? Is it in PDF form? Because I think you still have some questions too, right?
Right. And that's, you know, to Maura's point is, you know, I don't have all the answers because I haven't even started the implementation phase. I have no idea what this even entails to, you know, put in the district for even just a trial. It could take me days to do. I have no idea, you know.
Do you think we're meeting in?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you have those answers in 2 weeks? Like if we give you.
I have a scheduled phone call with them tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, so
So-
I think, Ken, if you're good. I think-
But in terms of that question,
To be honest, I think we're gonna
I
have,
made a motion to trial
Line wise.
LimeWire,
okay.
LimeWise.
LimeWire,
Wire.
no LimeWire, no LimeWire.
I'm saying, and we haven't.
Are we doing LimeWire now?
No,
So I think I'll make you have to,
He has to
you have to amend
amend
your
it.
motion.
So what am I doing? And what am I amending?
I think you're-
Conditional?
Additional
Conditional
approval.
approval pending the,
Questions set forth by the board?
I think that's clear enough, yeah.
Yes.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
So the question of who gets the level 1 reports, I know for a fact that it's the police because I've had this conversation with
The
them.
reports that you can get who's it gonna go to? That's what Ken was asking.
Okay, okay.
The
Yeah.
non-real time ones.
Yeah.
All of the things you're gonna have to set up as where this report goes to, who it's gonna be shared with,
Yeah.
like, that's what Ken would like to know.
Right. And I think with the
Yeah.
trial, it's
Like them to do.
a lot different than being live. When it's live, it's going to go to whoever should be responsible for these types of reports.
Hmm.
With the trial, for all I know, it might just be me pulling those reports.
And then, so if it goes to you, where are you sending it? I think that's just
Right.
what we're,
Right.
makes sense?
Right. Yeah.
So I'll second your motion.
So now we have to discuss it.
No, we're on.
Anybody want to
Refer to
discuss this
previous.
anymore?
Start with the gentleman with the.
So just so I understand is it for just the monitoring with that condition? Like, am I good to start the implementation of the filtering and the class wise?
I didn't break it down. I just did.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't have,
just
we
do
don't
all
have
of it.
issues with the other stuff, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we agreed we're going to trial all three.
Trial all three.
Trial
all
all
three.
three.
Trial
Just
all-
want the clarification questions of where that.
So
Yeah.
the clarifications to those questions for the next meeting. So nothing for the next 2 weeks for implementing this.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I think,
You
so
can,
when
you can start.
you can, I think the
Just need
conditional is
information.
you just need to provide that information, so you can. send
So
it out
just
to
an
the
email?
board.
Okay.
You can,
Yeah.
Bob sends it out.
You don't have to wait till next.
Just-
Okay. That's what I was clarifying.
Yeah, so yes, no, so that's why it's just conditional. So as soon as you have that information, have Bob share it out. with the
Okay.
board.
Perfect.
If you have a phone call with them tomorrow, you
Yeah.
get the.
You get the information, send it over.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so
Thank you, Gordon.
hold
thank
on,
you.
we have to do the vote now.
Oh.
We didn't vote yet.
That's twice now.
Okay.
I could have walked away 30 minutes ago.
Should have walked away.
All right,
Aye.
yeah.
Jeremiah, you in?
Are you in favor? Yes, okay. Unanimous.
Gordon, thank you.
Thank you.
Gordon.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gordon.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Our policy to say that we can't have discussions more than 30 minutes.
Right.
All in favor?
Okay, so this next one, energy audit update, I just wanted to bring to the attention of the board. This is not something I want to have a discussion on tonight, but I want to give the attention. I think Phyllis handed everybody a copy of this letter that we had gotten. This letter that just states that with the Siemens energy audit that was done, if we do not execute or move forward with anything, we do have to pay for the audit that was done. So I would like the board to take the next 2 weeks, kind of think about what we would like to do. Do you want to buy out the audit at $30,000? Do we want to move forward with or discuss moving forward with a small part of the project? What do we want to do? Do we want to
$1,000 worth.
to the voters in March? Like, what do we want to do? How do we want to move this forward? Because there is, I'm guessing at some point they're going to come to us and say, you owe us money. So I'd like to get ahead of that and start having the discussions sooner than later. So I will be putting this on to next meeting agenda, but I just wanted to make sure everybody had a heads up and had time to really think this through, ask any questions, go through, talk to Dan, talk to, a member of the facility subcommittee meeting who was part of this project. If we need to connect with with somebody over at Siemens to ask some more questions. I just want to make sure that we are all doing our due diligence. So we don't have this kind of smack us and say, now you owe us money and we're going. We don't.
Yeah,
So-
I think just real quick for the public, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but we signed a contract with Siemens to do the audit. They came back with many recommendations, many projects, many pieces of the projects. It wasn't the will of the board to proceed at our last meeting or the meeting prior to that. I can't remember correctly, but
Yeah.
there is a portion of the contract that costs pay for that audit, which is $30,000. Now, I said there's there's many facets of what they suggested in excess of $1 million. So I don't want anybody to think that there isn't a way to get something for this $30,000. I think that's what Dawn is making sure the board looks at
Yeah, I
rather
want
than just
everybody to
paying
do
for
their
it.
due diligence and make sure that we really, look at it from all different angles. See if we can figure out like, okay, is this part of the project something that we as a board would like to handle?
If we do part of the project, do we have to pay that $30,000?
I do not believe so. So I'm going to also get a copy of the contract and have Bob share that out to everybody. So we all have a copy of the contract to review.
Dan, yeah, Dan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember correctly that that $30,000 is put towards whatever we decide to move forward with.
We just do LED lighting, that's one.
And if we just do LED lighting at one building, right?
We'd be stupid to not do that.
The scope was for all.
I agree.
We should do it for. at
Yeah,
least
that's
30,000.
fine. But I
Yeah.
think
Yes.
if we take a look at the contract that was signed, so we figure out exactly what the parameters are. I think we just need to all make sure we do our due diligence
Yep.
prior to the next meeting.
Agreed.
So,
Thank you, Don.
okay. All right. And superintendent search update. Rick, would you like to give an update? I've kind of stepped back from that. We have Jeremiah, Rick, and Heather that are going to be working with Christine Rocher and Zeal.
Yep, sure. So, Steve, let me just bring up my calendar. We have, we executed an agreement with an executive search firm that specializes in education. Well referenced, we had two options to choose from. We have a meeting set with them on the 28th. Yeah, 28th, morning of the 28th. The ad, Christine Rochers has our ad ready to go for the superintendent. We want to meet with the firm to make sure they don't have any other suggestions. The expectation is that the ad will be up on the 28th or shortly thereafter. And we will engage with that firm, with the community, with the staff. We'll have a number of people involved in an interview process, very transparent and open. So more to come on that, but it is moving forward as quickly as we can move forward. I don't know if anybody else was to add, but.
It's good.
Fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Second public comment.
Right. Sam Olson from Kingston. I have a daughter at Memorial. Shocker, I'll talk about policies. They might not be exciting, but they're essential. They protect everyone in our school, students, teachers, staff, administrators, parents, and this board. They set expectations, create consistency, and ensure fairness, accountability, and trust. I'm deeply concerned that many Sanborn policies are still out of date with state law. Here are just a few examples. Policy JLDBB, suicide and eating disorder helplines. Bill was passed in 2024, and student IDs now include the 988 and National Eating Disorders helplines, but the policy doesn't explicitly require this, risking future compliance. IKF, the FAFSA and graduation bill was passed in 2024. Policy provides no guidance on FAFSA access or support, leaving students without guaranteed information. IHAM and IGE, parental notification. A House bill was passed in 2024. Policies we currently have omit 2-week notice on sex ed topics, parental review rights, broad opt-outs, and well-being notifications. GBCD,
Sorry, can I just-
transportation monitors.
Can you clarify which policy was that?
That was IHAM and IGE. The House Bill 1312 was passed in 2024.
I'm not going to eat up any time.
I can email you the.
No, I think a portion of what you just said about the sex ed notification.
Yep.
All taken care of in the parent bill.
Your current policy, there's no current policy that outlines the 2-week notification
Oh, great, I believe.
or
Jeff did.
opt-out.
Policy AB that we just put in.
Oh,
Yeah, that,
That just
Okay.
covered it.
yeah, that's the only thing.
That, yes.
I'll take a look at it.
I remember you,
Okay.
I remember reading it too.
sorry, good.
Where was I? GBCD, transportation monitors, Senate bill or SB was passed in 2023. Background checks must be done by the district. The policy still directs checks to go through DOE, creating a compliance gap. Student health services, nurse certification, SB was passed in 2023. The policy does not require nurses hired after August 2019 with associate's degree to complete a BSN within 6 years. JKAA, restraint and seclusion, which laws were passed in 2023 and 24. The policy lacked limits on duration, continuous monitoring, co-regulator oversight, state forums, and parental notifications. These
Sam,
updates
we
just passed, but these laws passed 2 years ago. Delays like this put students at risk. This is just a small list of laws since 2023 that still lack updated policies. Each law exists to protect students and families. The superintendent proposes updates, but the school board is legally responsible for ensuring compliance and holding the superintendent accountable. Research shows that effective boards maintain clear roles, active oversight, and regular communication with superintendents. This is how student safety and legal compliance are ensured. Accountability cannot be delegated. Inaction forces us to play catch up. We teach our children to own their work even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. The board must lead by example and tackle these hard tasks. Reassurances that updates are in progress are not enough. Oversight rests with this board. Updated policies provide staff a roadmap, give parents clarity on rights, and ensure students are protected. My ask is simple. Complete these overdue updates and clarify ownership going forward. The superintendent must track law changes routinely, and a board member or committee must check compliance. Without that structure, we'll keep falling behind. Finally, when laws change but policies lag, how is staff notified? And this is a discussion you seem to have been having today. JKAA training stalled after 23-24. Do teachers know about the 2-week notice now required for sex ed under HB 1312? If policies are delayed, how can staff adjust? Our community deserves clarity, fairness, and accountability, not confusion or delay. Please don't let another year pass without outdated policies.
Thanks, Sam.
Sam, could you email me those lists?
I emailed a big list to you guys a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
But I can email that much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's no further public comment. Next meeting of the Sanborn Regional School Board will take place on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the library at the Sanborn Regional High School. Would someone like to call us in to non-public?
Hi.
Heather, that's you.
RSA 91-A, semicolon 3, Roman numeral 2, BCL.
Can I ask you to add A to that as well, just to be safe?
A.
There's something I'm not sure which one it falls under, so I think it's better to have it just in.
So I will amend my motion
Thank
to
you.
public RSA 91-A, semicolon 3, Roman numeral 2, BCLA.
Thank you.
Do I have a second?
A, B, C.
Second.
LA. Right, you said A, B, C, L, A.
BCLA.
BCLA, yes, okay, thank you. A, B, C, L, A. We're just gonna do it. Just not sure.
And Laura, second.
Thank you. All right, roll call in Jeremiah.
Yes.
Micah.
Yes.
Maura.
Yes.
Rick.
Yep.
Ken.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
And myself, yes.
With a break.
Take a
Bath
break.
break?
Take a break.
Go take a quick break.
With a back break?
Josh,
Yeah.